Oh, it started. That's cool. Now I can see things with times and clocks and hands. Amazing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to 10 o'clock. I do believe this is episode 361. Now with hands. Look at them go.
But no skin.
Beautiful face. Beautiful face anymore. Oh, we'll get it back. We'll get it back. We'll get it back. Right. We are here to talk about Warframe. My name is MDRLOz, currently looking outside of an orbiter, which is pretty. This is Xeno.
Hi.
And we're going to be here to talk about Warframe. So first, as we do every week, Xeno, hit us up with some emblems. Look up there for?
They're in Discord.
Yes, but that means I have to look at the Discord window. You can't see my floating windows. I am surrounded by amazing windows of amazingness. There. Cool. Right, those are some cool emblems we found this week.
Are you trying to see them, or?
No, I can see them. They're up there. Yeah.
Which are you on looking at the OBS screen, or are you looking at the Discord screen? I don't understand.
I popped out your stream. You send me. It's there. I can see it.
So you can see both of us, and you're okay. Never mind. So which one's the winner, Loz?
I'll say yours. I like yours more. Mine's got a nice style to it, but I've never. It's kind of like a what do you call it?
I think it's a Twitch streamer logo.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
It feels more like graffiti.
Yes.
That's what my one's kind of feel. Big fan of that kind of style of thing, but I like yours. It's. I mean, I'm not looking at a really good high definition version of it because it's a stream within a stream, but no, I like yours more. It's more emblemy, you know. It's like a bam. You could stick that on a flag, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like a Twitch streamer emblem, isn't it?
Well, mine or yours?
No, yours.
Oh, yours. Well, not a flag-esque thing. It kind of looks like a shuriken. Maybe if the middle bit was more shuriken-esque.
I do like how 3D yours is. Like, you know, it's got like the nice shading and things around the LXP. Assuming that's a P. And, you know, it gives it more depth and feel and things. But yeah, I totally get what you mean by the graffiti arts thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we move on?
Yeah.
If you wish to win 75
you're not going to change it?
What?
I thought you came up with a new amazing strategy. We're going to save that for next time.
No, I'll save it for next time because the current one's on. Yeah. So if you want to win, a chance to win a 75 platinum for your platform of choice, go into the description below where you'll find a link to last week's emblems. We didn't actually talk about this last week, but they're there and you can vote on them. And then in Loz is scratching his head.
Yes, I can now do that.
What's it called? Like, I think it's...
You know how itchy it is in this suit?
No. What's it called? Next week, the winners will be sent to the... Loz can laugh now. He's happy. He doesn't normally shake that much when he laughs. Right. And we're going to move on to Dojo Dusting next. Yes?
Yes, let's do that.
Moving on to Dojo Dusting, where I watch... I'm actually tempted to time you to see how long you can actually type the time.
Oh.
You forgot about that, didn't you?
It was going to be on my arm, and it was going to be awesome. Now I have to go up here. Hang on.
What are these screens?
Breathing issues on this. One of these screens.
You sure you don't want me to
I'm
do
good to go. Yeah, we're good.
Right, okay. So,
have to look. Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you the time?
No, it's more...
Are you sure?
No,
Loz,
sure.
I'm doing this. Loz, I'm doing this. I'm sorry.
No, hang on.
Oh, hang on. Guys, you have to see. Like, I wish I could show you the screen right now. Can I advise for the future that you put the screen that you're going to edit on in front of you?
No, that was the one that was going to be on my arm, right? And it was supposed to appear and disappear, and it would have been like pam, right?
Yeah.
But it was fiddling up, and it wouldn't disappear, so it was constantly. Oh god, don't grab that camera. It was constantly like on there, so I couldn't see anything because it was like there constantly. So it's up there. Hang on, I won't. We'll stick with it today.
Yeah.
But I'll move it for next time. Yeah.
Cool.
Teething
right.
issues, man.
Teething issues. So obviously, Dojo Dusting. Loz is using VR chat to be here right now with us. And in all honesty, I think this is working surprisingly well, considering the last tool that you were using. I think that's mostly because of the model.
It
Yeah.
was the model. Yeah, there's nothing against the software. Luppet is a brilliant piece of software, and the hand tracking would be better. But this is superior. I mean, this is tracking me in so many more ways. Luppet would have, it would only be. I can even say the region. This is the region. Look at it. This is the region that would be able to detect my hands. Whereas this, oh.
Can you raise your hand? What happens if you raise your arm? Do your left arm high? Raise.
Yeah, it's here still a bit.
A bit jank, but it's not that bad considering
yeah, it
the
doesn't
past.
cave in completely, which is
Yeah.
And the
what are fingers?
if I form a fist.
Oh wow.
Still not great. But I think this is actually how the Warframe ones are actually in game.
I wouldn't be surprised because I don't think you can ever you can't ever have a proper fist, can you, in Warframe?
No, not designed to like that. But still, it's lovely. Right, anyway. Yep. So any other Dojo Dusting?
So I think from next week onwards, we're going to what the hell's just happened? Oh, that was your left. That was your other arm. From moving forward, we're going to be changing it unless people push really hard against this. The platinum giveaways are going to move on to the polls. I think we'll still have the emblem polls in case people want to do it, or we might just take them away entirely. But I want to get more people to doing the polls, and I think having a plat incentive would be a good thing. Let us know in the comments.
We'll ask people. We may get a question. Do people still want to vote on the emblems? Because to be honest, it could just be me and you. I'd rather get people if to keep people's time minimal. I'd rather they do the polls because they're more interesting and we can talk about it. Yeah, and if that's how we're giving out the platinum, which is kind of the reason why we did it. So I think you've got a brilliant idea there, man.
Part of my problem though is that the majority of our community, the most established members of our community, they won't vote on the emblems because they don't want to enter for the platinum. And as a result, to me personally, they're the ones that I want to give the platinum to because they're the long-term investors, right?
Good point.
But, there's so many people that vote on the emblems that just win free platinum, but we never see hide nor hair of them in the episode. They still might watch the full episode, don't get me wrong, but it feels off to me that anyway, cool. So I think that's it for Dojo Dusting for the most part. The one thing is episode 365 is coming soon in 4 weeks time, and it'll be a long episode where myself, Loz, and Tobiah will be doing a in-depth analysis of the first episode of 10 o'clock. So where we will be.
I was thinking, do I want to watch it beforehand to remember what it is? But no, I'm gonna not look at it, and we're gonna do this fresh. And I can't even remember what the topics are. All I remember about episode 1 is that the starts with like a diorama of a mower. I think.
Okay. I don't remember
the old mission diorama loading screens.
Yeah.
Or
oh shit! I haven't started the bloody background footage. Sorry. I just realised I was looking at the screen like nothing was moving.
Well, they've had me to look at least, I guess.
Yeah.
With floating hands, there's been something.
Anyway.
What are you doing? You're sort of picking missions?
Choosing which mission.
I've got it at the right angle. Like, look, I'm looking up to the right, and it's up to the right, and that looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You doing the void, are you?
Yeah, because I was like amassing argon crystals for building warframes. Like I've got nearly all the warframes.
Sounds like some
built.
Interesting discussion about the current helmet system you're
getting in. No idea what you're talking about. Let's move on. Right. So
I was going to say, I was trying to segue into some topics, man. I was going to get that. Look, I was going to get that.
Okay.
I was going to move it across into the topic.
Right. So moving on to the topics. So our topics for the week are topic 1. I just pressed a button I probably shouldn't have. Leave that. So topic 1, marked for nerf, or how the latest dev stream had some of the worst takes I've seen from the team, and has proven how nerfing helmet abilities before releasing has done nothing to curb the meta. Okay.
Right. Now I'm going to caveat by saying I haven't done anything with the helmet system yet. I know you're into it, so if I'm wrong or do some silly takes on it, do call me out on it, everyone. But I understand the system, but I haven't experienced it. So maybe people with better experience than me. But I will be interested to see about this because I did see the dev stream. We can talk about it. Right.
Cool. So, right. So the points, right? Even on dev streams, the lack of transparency to admit that a lot of the Helminth abilities are terrible, and the question posed of most being equally good doesn't seem to even be a possibility to them. Warframe's cycle of nerfs and buffs seem to be more of a cycle of appraising a particular appeasing a particular content creator that calls out a particular synergy / combo / build. The stats for subsumed abilities show why Raw as a nerfed but good ability will always be chosen over edge case at best abilities. What this has done is cow a sizable portion. Is that supposed to be cow? Sizable portion of the player base. Oh, sorry. What this has done is cow. Is that the right word? So I need to go to the original. Bear with me. Oh my god, that's a wall of text and a half. Hold on, control cow. Yeah. They do say, in turn, what this has done is cow a sizable. What the hell? Is there another definition of the term cow? Define cow.
Yeah, it's actually in the actual text. In turn, what this has done is cow a sizable portion of the player base away from trying anything new, creating a culture of scolded dogs afraid of touching the water for fear of getting burned again. Yeah, that's exactly. It's word for word copied across on this point. It's not a copy out or anything.
A fully grown female animal.
I think what they're trying to indicate is sort of like it's cordoning off, or if you think like cows work in a herd. So
sorry, hold on. Sorry, there's more verb. Cause someone to submit to someone's wishes by intimidation. I have never heard of that before.
It may be an old vernacular.
Control Shift T. 16th century. Its use over time hasn't degraded that much. Honestly, I've never heard it here in the UK.
But we know what they mean, yeah, as you see.
Okay, fair enough. So it's like intimidate. Right, okay, got it.
If you've heard of the term cows and such thing, please let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're from the UK, like, let us know where you're from, and then...
Maybe it's used more in America.
What the hell have I pressed? How have I got that up? I've somehow got...
Why is that doing that?
What? That's one of...
I'd buy those shoes.
There. I don't know. Somehow I managed to turn on one of the community shoutouts. Did you bring your feet up?
Not yet. Soon. Maybe soon. One day if I spend a lot of money I might do that.
Sorry, I don't know how I got one of the community shoutouts up. Right. What this has done is intimidate a sizable portion of the player base away from trying anything new, creating a culture of scolding dogs afraid of
Scalded dogs.
Yeah, sorry, scolded dogs afraid of touching water of fear of getting burnt again. It's widely accepted procedure by now that the best thing to do is when something new comes is to wait a month to see if it gets nerfed or fixed or not. You want to know what players would do if every ability from Helminth was good, Rebecca, ? They would have fun. That's all in caps.
No, all caps. They would have fun. That's really funny. One of the you're gonna love one of the memes. Things like that. Remember this. You're gonna love one of the memes.
Like this to me is really fucking full of bile and scorn, and there's nothing pleasant in this post whatsoever. What are you doing?
I was scratching my eye. I don't know what happened there with my eyebrow.
Right.
That
Okay.
looks weird. Right.
Where are your
So,
eyebrows? So they are eyes, everyone.
conspiracy confirmed.
Anyway, sorry.
Lovely.
Right. Yeah, sorry. I feel that there's just nothing but negativity and hate in this post. Right? This is literally, to me, it feels like they're shitting on DE. They're I'm angry, I'm throwing poop. That's what it feels like.
No, the specifics we can pull from it of why they're feeling angry, right? Right. Whenever you feel like you're doing an angry topic like this, it is I want to first of all try and always remember when things is that this person does care about the game. That is an important thing. If they didn't care at all about Warframe, they wouldn't even write this. They would just go, "Oh well, they've messed up this system. I'm just giving up on Warframe," and they leave without complaining. They go find a new game. This
Yes.
person does care about Warframe, so we always try and remember that point to start with. However, you can look in the way that they're directing their anger, and they even say like, a particular content creator that calls out particular synergy combo builds. Now, I don't particularly know who they're talking about, but I can take some guesses. I think there is a few examples where I think that they do a little bit pander or listen to people. I don't want to say they don't. I feel they do because there's some examples, and the one they pull is the Titania mod one, which fair enough. But again.
Sorry, could you remind me? I don't remember what you're talking about. Titanium mod one?
There's an example of Rob complaining about Titania pickup, and then all of a sudden a mod appeared for it.
Right.
And I don't know the development on that. You never know. It could have been in development beforehand and it just hadn't come out. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Sorry. Calling myself. But like I say, first of all, we'll take this person's point of view that they do care about the game. They're not just full of hate. They're doing this because they like the game. Also remember though, D wants the game to succeed. They're not doing it because they don't want people to have fun.
Yeah.
Like that's just such a bad take, right? D are trying to make the best game they can for everyone to enjoy. They don't do things like, oh yeah, well, this person wants this, so we'll add this to the game and everyone will hate it. No, that's not how they do it.
Right. So first off,
we'll just take those points.
Yeah, okay, we're taking that on board, right?
Yeah.
To me, the feel here is that marked for death and Rhino's Raw are like really high on the usage stats and things. So what I think, if memory serves, from Rebecca's graph in the dev stream, there were only 4 abilities that were shown at the top of the thing, and then it went straight into Rhino's Raw.
Yeah.
Right? One thing I didn't know until recently, getting access to the helmet. By the way, just on a random tangent, if you're listening to this now, if you see me in an Arbiters saying that the Magi Predator site don't exist, that's me just doing a bit, right? Just FYI, I'm going to keep that up. But for everyone that's watching 10 o'clock, you know I have actually done it. But one thing I didn't know...
You found some.
Yes, e.g., like, it took forever, but I did actually eventually find some. But the important thing to note is that there are more Helminth abilities than... Why are you turning around?
So I can go down the ship.
Come back.
Sorry.
Right, so the big important thing is there are more than just 4 Helminth abilities. I genuinely only thought there were 4 Helminth abilities for the longest time. So... Right. I don't know if we can easily get a hold of those graphs just to see whether or not what 4 abilities there were on that chart, whether or not marked for death was actually on there.
Get the stream up and then find it in there if you want. But
I suppose I can do that. But
the thing is, Raw wasn't the most used, was it?
No. But it was the most used of the Warframe abilities, not the Helminth abilities.
Helminth abilities, yeah. Which shows that the Helminth abilities are also very powerful. If Raw was, I mean, I remember seeing it, I went, oh yeah, well, I'm going to put Raw on some Warframes because it's so good, it's so simple. But then I've not seen all the Helminth abilities because I've not done system. Just looking at it from the outside, if Raw was used by If the one after Raw in popularity was half Raw's thing, then Raw would be crazy. And it's like, yeah, everyone's using Raw. But it's not. The Helminth ones are more popular than Raw, right? I assume that's what people are complaining about.
No, because this is the marked for death nerf.
Oh, the mark for death nerf. Oh,
I mean,
okay.
like I don't know. I don't think it's a deconstruction of the post, which
I'll go
is
read the original post. There.
it's very very long. I mean, I could go through it, but probably be there for days and a half. Do you remember when in the dev stream Rebecca had the graphs?
Oh, it was at least like 30 minutes in, I think. 30 minutes.
Sure. Quickly, so I'm still scrolling through. She did like loads of graphs at the same time, didn't she? And they were for a while, weren't they? Ah, here we go. Oh my god. No, so this is... There's no label on this graph. I don't know what... There's no title!
Some people hasn't practiced putting graphs in their streams. Oh, yeah. I went
Wow,
there.
shots fired.
Uh,
Oh, no, that's subsumed Warframes, because I remember Oberon's there. Right, okay. Helminth Strength, Helminth Companion, Helminth Efficiency, Helminth Speed, Helminth Hack, then Rhino Roar, Helminth Shields, Helminth Stun, Berserker Scream, Infest Tendrils, Light Smite, Pull, Obelisk. Oh god, can I just see? I don't even. I don't. Helminth status? Can't.
right, well, I just want to read out a few points from this person's thing.
Yeah,
Let me
go
have a
on.
look through what we got. So they did put. Now this is getting into personal territory. I hear. So take everything I say from this point on as my own opinion. If I end up sounding like a whiny baby, feel free to drag me in the comments. I understand this is where this is a vent after all. I absolutely despise how the devs, Scott in particular, in this instance, embrace nerf culture and their foster throughout many of the updates to the point where they're openly joking and laughing about it. The ramifications of this mentality run very, very deep. I'm afraid it's already taking effect in how the community reacts to content creators showcasing new builds videos. Do people not? No, sorry. Does this person? To me, there is a difference between hey, this is a cool build. It does 10% more damage, and hey, look at this new build. It enables me to just tap 2 buttons continuously and get a massive pile of red crits that means every mob in the universe gets destroyed. I know I'm going to be an extreme there. I appreciate that, and I feel that's the thing is that things leak through the development process, and they sometimes need nerfing. If you can't appreciate that they joke about it, then I do feel you're getting too worked up on some of these builds that it becomes so personal to you. It They do it for health of the game, and sometimes you might. I do feel sometimes they leave some things in too much. I in fact would love that they ban things a little bit, nerf things a bit more, make level things out more. Instead, there's a few peaks on the plane of balance that they don't seem to want to hammer down. Cough, 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 riven weapons, cough, cough, abilities that abuse it, cough, cough, Cora whip, cough, cough, Baruch, cough. Sorry. Which potentially is done to keep the river market afloat. I don't know.
I can't imagine that.
Weird. I don't know. But the game is always in flux. And I do appreciate that sometimes something comes out and you enjoy it and you go, wow, this, because the game is a power fantasy. And sometimes a build comes out. Maybe you weren't even somebody who discovered it on a YouTube, some content creator video or something, and you discovered it naturally. And you're like, I'm really enjoying this. It's giving me a massive power boost. I feel like I'm interacting with the game more. And then I could understand that, yeah, it gets taken away next week. And you're like, no, but it let me get back into the game. And I was like, oh man, this feels amazing. And and it's no fault of your own. You didn't plan to abuse it openly. You just discovered it through natural play. You thought, oh wow, that's a really interesting thing that was added. It's taken away from you. You feel bad. But at the same time, some people will take these builds and then ruin the game's economy, which is an important factor. I mean,
So
as for the devs joking about it, I'm honestly I feel it's important the devs can I DE is the most open development game company I've ever seen. I've never seen World of Warcraft, Blizzard's developers, or EA's developers, or Activision's developers come out and have this level of interaction and be able to joke with the community. Like, oh, I feel this his jokingness is just it's cutting deep to me. Oh yeah, like,
actually, the only one that I remember doing this was the Destiny one, and I only remember they doing it like a couple of times because after I think it was King Gathelion who was on their stream with them outwardly said, "What the hell are you doing?" Like he outwardly questioned all of their stuff. They stopped doing the streams entirely.
right, he actually gave them some hard questions, hard facts, and they
Hard
didn't like it. So,
criticism of the stuff,
yeah,
like, because I think he was being blindsided by the choices that they were making as well. He didn't like the direction that they were going in,
right,
and
but I'm
on
not seeing
stream
that
he
stream.
actually, he quizzed them on it. He like,
Yeah,
if
but I
if
don't
I'm
know.
right.
Maybe he went too hard on them. Yeah, but yeah. But the thing is, though, what? Yeah, no, actually, you've got a perfect example there. So he did go with the hard facts of, hey, why you did it? And what happened? What did the developers do after that?
I think they still went with it, and they never did another dev stream since.
Never did it all again. They quietened up. They shut up because, oh, how dare you make jokes and lie about this? Oh, then should we just not talk at all? That's
If
the thing. You got to take the good with the bad on
Yeah,
this.
if anyone knows better than I do about the
On
events of
this,
this, please let us know, because I'd like to be accurate. I don't want to spread misinformation if I'm wrong. But the big thing to me in this scenario, like, first off, I can't see that. Like, I've had a look on the stream. I cannot see on the graph like Helminth AoE or anything like that. I can't even see marked for death on the chart. Do you know what Mark for Death does?
the Nidus ability, isn't it?
No. Mark for Death is a helmet ability
Oh,
where
honestly.
I think you target something, you kill something, and then a proportion of the damage hits all the mobs in an area, right?
Right. Yes.
But this also includes finisher damage.
Right.
So
Which again is so this is probably an oversight in the design that then had to be rectified because it was doing a bajillion damage that was not what it was
yeah,
expected or intended ever to do.
it's like red crits for fucking days. So I don't think that this person, like, to me it feels like, oh, you're nerfing an edge case because it's good. And I mean, it's hard to gauge it from the notes that we've got, because I don't want to put words in this person's mouth. It does feel to me, from my understanding, that this is, you're trying to cripple my fun when it's not a problem because not everyone's using it. Not like the Catch Moon, where 50% of the player base at MR 20, top tier players were using the fucking Catch Moon, right? So yeah, okay, fine. It's still an edge case, but this easily has the potential to escalate into nasty numbers of people using it if it's not tempered now. Now, I don't know when this post was made, but I do know that Marcus released another post. I think it was on Thursday. Yeah, it definitely wasn't yesterday. So it was like Thursday or something, saying that they're going to be bringing it back up a bit. They nerfed it a bit too hard. I don't know how they nerfed it, but they have admitted, like, okay, yeah, we're hearing the players. We've nerfed it too hard, so we have to balance it a bit more. Yeah?
Nice.
But it's like, yeah, I don't even, I can assume that maybe Zandy, Brozime, I don't know who else does build videos, and maybe even Tactical Potato. I'm not quite sure who these days does build videos. But yeah, if people highlight this is a cool thing, then yeah. But also with like you can see me now doing the whole I'm throwing food at the I'm not throwing any Railjack resources at it. You can screw that. But it's I don't think the majority of players will have gotten to Mark for Death yet. I think the majority of players are on things like Rhino's Raw, or the Helminth Power Strength buff, which is what I'm using for my Oberon.
But could
And
it be a small population of the player base managed to get this far, thought, wow, this is a really cool, powerful ability I get for finishing this system, and we're using it to maximum effect, and D went, oh no, what have we done? Affect it. And then they're like, oh, but the ability, I was really enjoying that,
but
and it
my
was really powerful.
cake. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want, I was trying to edge a little away from the thing,
Fair
but
enough.
yeah. It was
Uh,
like, I didn't want to be demeaning on them, but yeah. So they had a really cool thing. It's been taken away from them. That's all I can see. It's like, and then, but let's go to the end. There's another thing in here. I don't think it's in the cut down version. But another the person says is that at one point, and I do remember this bit where Rebecca's talking about one of the most replaced abilities. It's not the most. Is Chroma's breathing fire ability is just
right.
completely removed.
Yeah.
So let's look at that as a case. Do you think that is an indication that that ability is awful and needs improving?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like I made joke about how no one uses Oberon's smite ability. No, people do use Oberon's smite ability. I very rarely see people use Nova's wormhole. I mean, I think I use it more to troll people than anyone else uses it to like speed farm captures. I think that every Warframe has at least one ability, like Well of Life, right? Trinity's Well of Life. Why? Right? I do.
Haven't they changed it?
I have no idea. Have they?
I think they changed it. I'm not sure. We'll look into that one.
Okay.
Pretty sure they did.
Okay. This is me going on old knowledge. This is me
Hmm.
going on old secondhand knowledge. But the whole point I'm making is that there are plenty of Warframes that have at least one ability that's just like, why does this even exist?
Yeah. Well, and now there's the thing of it. It's like rare that ability is not so great, so you can replace it with other options.
Yeah.
So maybe it could do with a little bit of change, maybe a bit of improvement. But if you made every ability equally amazing, what would be the point of the helmet system? Player choice, I guess,
Yeah,
but
no, player choice would go a
it would
long
diminish a
way.
bit. It would be player choice, but it would also diminish it because if each ability was cool and equal, and every Warframe was as balanced and a rounded thing, we'd never need to replace any of the abilities. You'd never feel the want to, apart from in like very niche cases.
No, I think there would be a desire to, because like you know, maybe speed framers with they say that they use Nova's wormhole to, what's the name of the damn thing, do speed runs for captures and things. I could easily imagine that a speed runner would change one of Nova's abilities, maybe antimatter drop, to do Nezha's Firewalker, so again going faster, right? Just to I've heard people say that antimatter drop is amazing. I struggle with it because but at the same time, I can easily see that the play style is what dictates what abilities people put on. Like I put on the Helminth Power Strength ability on my Oberon because that gives more healing, more armor, and strips off all armor with a reckoning in one go, right? Rather than two goes. So I think it's like scenario driven if all abilities were equally amazing. Yeah?
Okay, we move on to the replies.
Yeah, let's go for it. Do you know
Yeah,
how to read them?
they're there.
Okay.
They're there. There. As someone who despises nerfing as a concept and would always prefer to escalate rather than depower. If stuff keeps getting stronger all round, then nerfing becomes unnecessary. Yes, I'm aware that has its own issues. I found this culture extremely discouraging and somewhat disgusting. I truly hope this kind of shit stops being a thing, because otherwise I can easily understand why such a large portion of the player base are marked as inactive or former. Right. The thing is, if you rise everything, you're going to be forever rising everything. Like, let's say this slipped into the game as a bug. Right, this is a bug. I'm sorry, it was not intended, and maybe they've nerfed it too hard. That's fair enough, and they did imagine this ability to be a very strong ability. Maybe they've gone too far, and they've said that. We'll have to see what the final version is. But if a bug gets into the game that, oh, well, we like that bug, that's how it's supposed to be now. Now you have to go back and fix every other ability to its same level. I mean, like, you start like this. Oh, this bug goes to here. Oh, we've got to raise everything up to here. Oh, there's another. No, then oh, there's a bug over here that raises this up to here. Then up here. Then here. You know, and then I'll break my arms. That's what happens eventually.
Yeah. Sorry, let me go through this again. Sorry, just to say for everyone's benefit, next week when we go through this again, we'll get Loz to use the mic on the headset.
I can swap it now.
Yeah, could you? Because and then could you read it again? The problem is
I have to lean away, don't I? Yes.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you got like really distant from your microphone. So let's quickly. I'm going to pause real quick. Right, so just adjusted Loz's mic, so he sounds a little, lacking of bass, but at least when he looks...
No, my deep voice is gone.
But at least when he's looking away, we can still actually hear him.
Well, I'll have that on, that's why I was going to have this on this arm, so I could, like that, and it would appear on my screen there.
Yeah, right.
But it's had to be up there because the thing was messing up, so yeah.
We'll get it sorted. Right, so... as someone who despises nerfs as a concept and would always prefer an escalation rather than depower, but I truly hope this kind of shit stops being a thing, because otherwise I can easily understand why a large portion of the player base are marked as inactive / former.
No, I'm going to take away that. The amount of people who have obtained this ability, as you said, this is one of the high level helmet abilities, yeah?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Right. So the amount of people who are going to have it and have this nerf affect them is probably going to be rather minimal. The people, if people are going quitting, more than likely it's because of lack of content. It's because they want more updates, and that or they're just bored with the general concept of the game. People are going to be like, oh no, you nerfed something I hadn't even obtained yet, or I'm going to quit. Or the other reason I know is, what is it? It's the early game, and I don't know if that's improved yet with people getting into the game. They think there's too much to learn or something, right? So this person saying that, oh, that's why people are leaving, because you're nerfing my overpowered ability. No, that's not fair. That's not honest. Also, I don't like their let's raise everything. Sometimes, yes, like maybe if there's it is. Sometimes, yeah, maybe a little bit of a buff to everything else. But then there's the next thing, right? Okay, if DE, how many damage sources are in the game right now? In fact, that's probably where this bug came from, because there's just so many damage sources and so many methods and mechanisms of damage. DE can't account for them, I assume, every time something new comes in. So that's why it's finisher damage, yeah, that did this?
Yes, because finisher damage is so much higher.
Yeah,
and because it's hard to pull off.
And they were thinking how to do this stuff, and they just didn't account for that damage source, because there's so many, there's so many damage sources in. But my one point was also going to be, if you want to buff everything else because this one ability is good, I mean, yeah, there's only a limited number in the helmet system, but then they have to buff all the ones in Warframe abilities, as pointed out in the original post, that are useless. How many abilities? How long would that take to do a pass on everything else because this one thing they put in was a bit of a bug when it came out? Which is, do you want DE to spend forever after an update, spending 3 months just trying to get everything back to this level with this one upgrade that there was a bit of a bug? That they would never develop anything new. Every Warframe ability, every operator power, every companion, every weapon, there's so much development time just because, I want this thing. Raise everything up. Sorry, that's too far.
No, I agree. I mean, I always use the example of God, what's his name? Oberon and Trinity. I mean, Trinity was the tippy top of the healer game because she was the only one for the longest possible time.
Yeah.
And even when Oberon came out, he was the jack of all trades, master of nothing at all.
No, he was our second truly healing frame, wasn't he?
No, not really. Not really. His heals were...
No, I meant that he was the second frame after Trinity that had support healing
Yes.
abilities. I don't think anyone else did, right?
No, yeah.
So then, what did we compare against? Trinity. So what at the time, Trinity's blessing was a infinite range, invulnerability, along with an infinite capacity to heal health and shields to maximum.
And it was instant.
And
it was instant. Yes, it was.
I don't think you could, but you couldn't recast it.
No.
Yes, you're right. It was instance. It didn't have travel time, but it couldn't be recast. That is the only one negative against it. But you were invulnerable. You're invulnerable until invulnerability ran out. You couldn't recast it, and you could cast it immediately afterwards, right? So we then had to compare Oberon to that. So the solution would have been to make Oberon have oh god, no, put that up there. Don't grab. All right. So we'd have to make Oberon's ability have infinite range, infinite healing, invulnerability. If we wanted to raise everything up, wouldn't we?
Yeah, it'd be exactly a carbon copy of the same ability, right? Yeah. Maybe the only difference being it was a heal over time rather than, all in one go. But then
that's not good enough, Drew. We have to raise everything up, remember?
Yeah, and it's
not as good as an instant heal.
Yeah, and it's still like when Oberon got his rework, it was, to me personally, amazing. But then when, again, a content creator kicked off saying that it's not good enough, and they made the healing a toggle, that just, to me, just made him like, oh my god, this is insanely good. Like, I honestly think that 4 Oberons with the same sort of like setup I've got, you can fucking just trash top tier stuff instantly. No,
I'm not saying that this person shouldn't complain, because no one should ever should be silenced, right? Yeah. But I just feel that they need to temper their responses. That's what I'm saying. That it's just too far, right? So next response.
Yep.
Oh god, look at that time. I've been playing for years. I've been saying for years that there is barely even one Warframe with a full kit of 4 useful abilities. Every single Warframe I play, I only press 1 or 2 buttons max. Frames like Anaras got me thinking, which ability is more shit than the others shit? One to replace. LMAO, it's that bad.
There's nothing wrong with that, though.
Like, thing is,
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Oh, you go first. You go first.
I've been kicking off about Nova's wormhole ability, but there are people that use it, right?
Yeah.
There are people that have found their niche for it and things. Me saying offhand, no one uses Oberon's smite ability, and then there are people that use it for Eidolon farming. Irradiating smite, or and then there's like loads of scenarios. Yes, I don't think there's a play style where all 4 abilities are 100% amazing as each other, but that's a good thing, because the stats we have for a Warframe ability: strength, range, efficiency, and duration. Any one ability that uses all 4 of those stats makes it hell to build for. Yeah. So that's what I have to say. What do you have to say?
My point was going to be, when a new Warframe comes out, do you find these days? I remember when we started playing the game 6-7 years ago. New frame came out. It was all about the Warframe abilities, and those were the major source of damage. Guns were good, and guns were practical for keeping you going through room after room. But then when it came down to it, when you wanted to kill things, you used Warframe abilities, to really get the good slaughter going. These days, guns are so powered. There's so many different types of guns. You bring 4 guns into a weapon, into a mission. You got your necromech, you got your companion, you got your operator, and so many different damage sources. I often, when a new Warframe comes out, I have to actually mentally force myself to try and understand the use of the abilities and actually use them. Because, as you're leveling them, they're not that good. So you just think, oh, God, I could just shoot my gun. And when you finish leveling it, like, okay, I've leveled the bloody thing now. Now I have to, in theory, play it with abilities maxed to then try and understand and get the minutiae of how to use them, when to use them. When most of the time it's like, or I could give up on that and just use my gun. or hit with a sword. I find it very hard to get in. So saying that a Warframe needs 4 abilities, which are the most amazing abilities that I will use beyond instead of weapons and things, and just all the time. No, what the ability should be is some of the abilities, as you've said, they should be niche, they should be unique, they should allow you to take a situation and do it differently, like with Nova's wormhole. This person probably would say, yeah, Nova's wormhole, what's the point? I just need it. Why isn't it doubling the damage of my molecular prime? Molecular prime? All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why isn't it tripling the molecular prime or making it resonate or something onto other mobs? Or it's useless, it's not improving that. It's in the eye of the beholder what you use the abilities for. Now, don't get me wrong, there are going to be some which I've tried, and even I don't know, I can't see a point. It's like Chroma's fire breath. I mean, it's tiny, it doesn't do much, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I think Mesa has one as well. That was the most changed one, I think, Mesa's ability. Shooting gallery, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think that shows.
Sorry, I know it was Mesa. I don't know what ability it was.
I think it was shooting gallery. I can't remember. Yeah. Sorry. For this stream, we recorded the last one before the dev stream. We weren't able to talk about dev stream topics.
Yeah.
So as well as we're a bit behind on this one, but yeah. Anyway, let's go to the next reply. I wish Steve would do his Sunday streams again, where he played through the game from the beginning and actually made a lot of good changes. I am with this person on that.
Yeah, I agree with this.
Yeah, I thought those were great. Not only was this the best developers who remain in contact and never laugh with their community, but this is the dev actually showing, yes, I played the game, and people feeding back to them in real time and go, oh yeah, I didn't realize that, or it's been a while since I've looked at this. Yeah, that could do with the redo. That could do with the redo. The sad thing is, I just don't know how busy Steve is, or if he does get the time to do it. But maybe if it was just once a month, I think people would still appreciate it.
I think another side of it is it's important for him to still have downtime. He still needs to chillax and shenanigan. He can't just be expected to work 24/7. Like, yeah, you can play the game whenever you want, but he shouldn't have to work when he should be relaxing. I keep on getting a bollocking from work because like, were you working last night? Yeah. Like, you shouldn't. Stop working. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, because I need to relax. Otherwise, I break.
Stop. You shouldn't. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. No, it's fine. No, you make a point. And sometimes also Steve, I assume, does need to distance. He will need to distance himself from Warframe. And the thing people don't seem to remember is that they're human. These are humans.
Yeah.
Developers are humans too. I think it was really touching or important to note when Scott came out and he said, he can't even watch. This is in the past, and maybe it's changed. I'm not saying this is it's just what Scott said. He couldn't even watch Brosim's feedback because it just made him. It was so toxic to him, and it had such an effect on him that he just couldn't even watch. He had to get someone else to watch it for him and feedback the comments.
Yeah.
So when people do things like this, I mean, you can always structure your comments in a more nice and clear form. I know this is a rant, and some people need to vent, and sometimes that's important too. But you have to remember that can affect. It's quite toxic,
Yeah.
It can be, yeah.
But the thing is,
I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever do this, because you should, and it might make this person better, and that can be important as well. So
to me personally, right? I mean, again, feel free, community, to correct me if I'm wrong or you would disagree. But personally, I make rants, rages, tantrums, private. Like, I will have a rant, rage, or tantrum to my personal friends, and often they are the voice of reason. But when you're putting it in a public forum and things, you have instances where you're stoking the flames, or alternatively, you're having two British morons, question your validity and your opinion. It's so I personally, if I have a tantrum, it's private, and if it's something that's
the point.
Go on.
Sorry, you go.
If it's something that's critical, something that you can be constructive, that I feel should be that can be public. right? But when you're like, oh, you don't know what you're fucking doing, you shouldn't nerf everything. You're just ruining our fun. That is the line.
Thing I would say is that sometimes you've got this visceral response, sleep on it, or talk to a friend first, and then write your post, and then redraft it several times.
Yeah,
because you can write it, write it with the maximum vitriol that you have, then put it down, and then look at it the next day, and you'll go like, wow, I'm really taking this a bit too far. Maybe I should just change that bit or knock this bit out. And
so I've been trying to write a I'm not happy with how the Heart of Deimos quest ended, and I've been trying to write a Xeno Codex talking about the value of plot and things, but I went through 3 or 4 drafts of that script. Every single time I went on a rant rage of don't write
biblical
shit.
Proportions.
Yeah, biblical. It was multiple pages long, which is how am I going to precede this down? And it was like, oh my god, like I'm just ragging on stuff. There's no take this and make this. I stopped doing it. I'm going to write a different script, and I'll try and tackle it again in the future. But like every single time I read it, I was just like, oh, this is just me raging. Anyway. Any others?
They have a fantasy scenario in mind where you wade through fodder enemies and unload on big targets. The reality is I hardly even look at what enemy I'm killing 99% of the time, so I'm not sure what game they are playing.
They have a fantasy scenario.
I feel they're wording it very badly, but I do feel that I feel a bit towards this because this is one of the issues I have as well. But
no, sorry, hold on. They have a fantasy scenario in mind where you wade through fodder enemies and unload on big targets.
Yeah.
In reality, you're doing that. Like I'm not even looking at what I'm fighting 99% of the time. So you're literally doing what they are setting out to do.
Yes, mostly. The only thing I would say is I do feel they have never cracked the mid boss.
They had. There was a really nice point. I think mid bosses should always appear. They shouldn't you shouldn't have to trigger them. You should just be eligible at any point. When you get to a certain point, like when you finish like the sacrifice, or maybe when you finish the second dream, like Stalker can turn up at any point. The Gustrug 3 can turn up at any point. Like maybe you've gained enough notoriety that you will always be on their radar, because as it stands, I've not seen those bosses.
I wouldn't even call them. Maybe mid boss wasn't the thing. Maybe the champion units. They've never cracked that. The closest I feel they came to it was the Nox. The Nox is a unit where I'm like, oh god, that's a bit tougher. I might have to deal with that. Should I kill the other mobs first, or should I deal with the big mob? And maybe that mob is the only one I can think of that makes me think like that. The Eximuses were supposed to be that, but never really hit that mark. That's what Eximuses were originally intended to be.
But the big thing is that you'll always get to a point where something that was really complicated, you end up trivializing, right? That no matter what it is, whether it be, maths, physics, a video game, botany, Twitter, you will.
No, I would say it's not. Yeah, you are right. They'll trivialize it, but at the same time, you'll trivialize it and you know how to kill it. But there is a different issue with Warframe, and I'm going to do a comparison versus, let's say, Destiny. In Destiny, I never actually feel stronger as you level up. I always actually feel the same strength, because that's kind of what the system's doing. But then, when they put out a mob, they know how much power output you're going to take to kill that. So they can tailor the experience. So each time you fight that mob, you're basically fighting at the same experience, which means, elite and mid-bossy boss mobs can feel a certain way. Whereas in Warframe, I do feel that it's very hard for the developers to know what is the exact player power at a certain point.
Yeah.
So, when a mob comes along, they always kind of feel the same, because you're just expunging stupid amount of damage until the point that you're just not expunging enough damage to get through their meat shields. And it never feels like you're actually doing, oh, right, this mob is going to, what? I can never remember I'm terrible for names, don't get me wrong, but there's the Vex mob in Destiny 2 that's like a little, like, plane with a V under it that has, like, rotating shields.
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, and that you have to shoot it in the eye, obviously. But like that mob normally takes you probably, let's say, 20 seconds to kill because you're adjusting. Maybe some people skill sometimes because of luck and things, and they can jump down above it or the timing's right. They kill it quicker. But on average, that probably takes you about 20 seconds to kill. Sometimes you go, right, I'll engage that mob, or should I kill some of the Vex? They're going to shoot me first, and then I engage that mob. But it's like a unique experience in the play, in the playback. What's the term? In the game cycle loop. What's the word I'm looking for?
The user journey.
No, the loop, the like 5-second gameplay loop. Yeah, within the gameplay loop of loops of the game, it becomes a mini experience to deal with that mob again. I've got to deal with that mob that's just spawned. Whereas Warframe, a lot of the time, you just kill mobs. Oh, that mob has appeared. Do I engage it in a different way? No, I just kill mobs. In fact, you know what? Warframe could probably do with a mob which has rotating invulnerable shields. That's it's a very simple concept. It's not got invulnerability phases, but you literally can't shoot it. The problem with Warframe is
he
punch
means
through.
Physically rotating, not elemental or anything like that. He means there's gaps.
No, yes, yeah.
Just to point that out.
Shields moving around. Yeah, because the thing is with Warframe is, because they don't know about the player power, they'd add that in, and then punch through would just negate it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So on this point, I can appreciate there is something in what they're saying. I do feel they've worded it a bit too toxic, but yeah. Next point. One thing I'm not particularly happy with is something being popular in the community does not make it broken. If I go to a restaurant and they have a bunch of turds on the menu, then 3 pretty nice meals, everyone would pick one of the couple nice meals. It's like kick guns. Of course, people slowly adopt the meta gun.
No. That's the exact problem, right? People shouldn't oh my god. The best thing I can I'm probably going to defer to Loz on this. With World of Warcraft, where paladins, especially ret paladins, were fucking useless until Wrath of the Lich King. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah?
They weren't. Yeah, they were terrible in Classic and in DBC. And then Wrath, though. I think it was the Wrath pre-patch when they were just ridiculous.
No, it was the before the first patch. Like the game was out.
The pre-patch.
No, it was before. Sorry, it was after the pre-patch.
No, but the pre-patch. But there was a period. I think it was the Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch because that added in the changes, the core-based changes to it, and then it got even worse because then you had the gear and the leveling, and you could get the end game stuff. Yes. But even the pre-patch just made boot on their power. It was just out of nowhere. Yeah. But as for their analogy,
my point is, do you want every player to play the same class?
Yes.
Do you want every player? Oh, no. We want a healer. If you're not bringing Trinity, get out. Right? No, you don't want that. Because otherwise, what is the point in investing the development time in these other options? Right? You want to feel like there is a choice. Mandatory is not a choice. Right? Things like Serration, Point Strike, these mods that are deemed mandatory mods, right? We're wasting space in our weapons for these things. So why should everyone just adopt this same one gun? That's a bad thing.
It is a bad thing. No. It depends, right? If there's one thing which is better, that is the clear superior choice, that's fine. But it depends how much of a superior choice is. Let's say if it's the best over anything else by 5%, and then everything else after that is maybe 1 or 2% below. So it's quite level, and there's this one thing which is a little bit better. Okay, it's not too big of an issue. But when one thing is, say, 20% higher than its competitor, and then everything else is even lower from it, and it's just the standout best, and the fact is that if you're not using this build, strategy, weapon, whatever, you are just gimping yourself in the amount of output you can do relative to players that are, well, that's just unfair.
Yeah.
That means that there's literally no other point to the rest of the content in the game because you should just use this because this is the best way.
Yeah.
What should we just get rid of all the content and just have that one ability just everywhere? And you'd be like, oh no, what are you saying? It's like, yeah, but that's what you're basically saying is that there's no reason to nerf this. This is the best. Let this work. So it's not it was about turds. And so basically then everyone should just equip that. And then that's it. We don't need new warframes. We don't need new weapons. We'll just use this.
Yeah, and then we get content drought.
Yeah. Oh, why haven't got anything to do anything? Oh, why haven't got anything different? Well, because you said you wanted everything to be good, and so we just reduced the amount we have and just gave you that. Oh, but I want more things now. Oh, but they're not as good. Oh, but no, they're too good. Oh, you have one thing that's better than my old thing. Oh, right, make my old thing better. Make everything better. It's just.
And then it's it's like this is the impossible cycle, because like when one thing is the best, how do you make everything better? It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this thing is infinitely better.
Yeah, you're right. Infinite. So then they're trying to make everything better, because they will, and it's not as easy as just just up all the numbers by 5%. It doesn't. That could be. They'll make something else ridiculously good, and then the original thing they were trying to level up to becomes not as good. Oh, now we have to level that original thing up to this new thing that they did when they were trying to fix that. Right. The last one is during Scarlet Spear, when they nerfed Limbo, I realized something very important about the devs. They're treating balancing like some competition against the players. That has to be the most toxic dev-player relationship possible. You're never going to make progress like that.
I'm sorry, fuck off. Fuck right off.
If DE could come up with a way to make you long-term love to play the game, they would do it. They would do it in a heartbeat. They want you to play the game. They want you to enjoy the game. Can we just put that forward for a point?
This reply is fucking toxic, right?
Yeah.
No, Limbo needed to be nerfed because he trivialized the entire event.
The whole point, the gameplay experience, the gameplay loop, broken because you
weren't fighting anything. You didn't need to.
Yeah, you put that. Yeah, and if they didn't do that, well, even I might have complained. What's the point of this? I'm bored. And I wouldn't have continued. It's like, what's the point? Why should I go into the game just so somebody can play? Well, it was boring as it was because people were just abusing Mesa. So I go in and I'm like, there's a limbo bubble up. Oh, I don't need to do anything. I just need to sit here. Yay, but I'm getting my points. I'm like, I'm literally dying of boredom because Limbo has just made this pointless. Like, oh, I can just sit here. Right, I've got my points. They didn't nerf Limbo. Let's go into a world for a second where they didn't do this. We would have played Scarlet Spear where we would have gone, got my points. What
am I going to do with my points?
Okay, but they didn't nerf my Limbo, but I got more points. Okay, let's do it again. Yeah, I got more points. I can buy all my arcanes. Right, okay, but what am I going to use them on? Because, well, I mean, does this person literally want an event where you go in and you just stand in a room and then every 10 minutes you push a button in the middle of the room, right?
Cookie
and then
clicker.
Just gives you points.
Cookie clicker.
Just gives you points.
It's cookie clicker. Yeah. It's fucking cookie clicker.
Just cookie clicker it.
Oh my god.
And then eventually you get to go out when you leave. There's a vendor and you can just buy all the things.
It's like people say that they want this cookie clicker-esque scenario.
No, they just want a reward.
Yeah, but the thing is, they want to put minimum effort in for maximum reward, right? So, hence, cookie clicker. That's the comparison. You put in...
If someone, can I just, sorry, I'll get back to that. If I'm honestly taking a bad take on that one, because I do think this, I know sometimes people are like, oh god, what are these two, would you say, British idiots were saying?
Yeah.
Well, they're thinking, they don't understand the game. If this person, this last one especially here, right, believing that there's a toxic dev-player relationship, if I'm taking a bad take on that, and this person, if you think this person's right, and that Scarlet Spear, they shouldn't have nerfed Nimbo, can you please let me know in the comments below? I do not understand why they shouldn't have nerfed Nimbo in Scarlet Spear. If you can explain that to me, please put it in the comments of this video below, because I just want to say, every comment gets read, and I am really wanting someone to explain to me why they shouldn't have nerfed Limbo, because that content was just like boring. I stood in a room, and somebody limboed it, and that was it, and I was like, okay, I'm done now. Yeah, I've literally not killed anything. It's okay. Yeah, okay. We've none of us have done anything. We just stood there. We got our points. We left. We bought our cans.
Yeah, it's to me.
Where was the fun?
Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the age range of our audience, right? But to me, this is like, so not nerfing Limbo is the equivalent of being someone that works on a conveyor belt that tightens up a nut on a wheel. Like or maybe 5 nuts on a wheel, but that is literally their entire day job, right? So, they will tighten, I don't know how many nuts they can tighten in a day, but could you imagine that is all your job is, right? If I don't understand this mentality of, I don't like doing hard, complicated things, it frustrates me, right? I'd much rather do something hard, complicated that I have to learn to do, because it makes the boring, repetitive tasks just melt away into nothingness. I used to be a sales assistant at supermarket. It was the most boring, mundane thing I had to do, right? Scan, 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 cost, money, till, change. Scan, 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 cost, money, till, change. Like, it's doing that constantly is boring, and that's what they're promoting here. I want to sit in the Morex, put up my limbo bubble and do nothing. Yeah. And then put up my limbo and do nothing. So I'm a bubble and do nothing.
My thing is, don't get me wrong, I still think they needed to do more in the Murex to make it more exciting. Even when they removed that, it wasn't like, oh yeah, now I was super happy. No, I still think more needed to happen there. I think more sentience needed to appear. It needed to feel like you were literally being besieged, but it just felt like there was just some sentience. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that by removing the limbo thing they fixed it. There was still more to do, but it just made it, as you say, just utterly repetitive, just pointless.
Yeah.
Scan. However, just want to point out, scanning in Shooty Fruity is always fun.
That's true, but Shooty Fruity introduces wildcard elements.
Right, we've been going on this one for way too long, I feel. So, as a whole thing, this is yet again, at the core, another case where something came out, it was bugged, it was too powerful, they've done a bit of a nerf, they've done some rethinking. I don't even think the mass amount of players actually got to the point of using the thing that's been nerfed or whatever. And consecutively, D have listened to feedback. So people who complaining, that's great. Don't ever stop complaining. However, I do feel temper your complaint. Don't just go mad and say things like, "Well, I'm sorry." Something very important about the devs, they're treating balance like some competition against the players. Take another second take on that. Really, do you honestly feel that? Just think about it. They are a business. This is their life's work for some of these people. No, see that could have been worded better. Right? I'm sure though. Teething issues. Warframe is nothing but teething issues. Do you know, I haven't actually done much in Demos because I knew this was going to happen. And it's a few weeks in, I can actually enjoy it, and it'll probably be a better experience than people who just went mad at the start. It's sad, but that's kind of the truth about Warframe is that especially, well, actually this released on consoles as well. But, you know, it needs time to settle and to level it out a bit.
Cool.
Right. You got any finishing points?
Only really to add on top of what you're saying is to reiterate, you know, if you are feeling this negatively towards something, maybe talk to your friends and things first. Don't stoke the fires of the hatred, right? Because we get into this scenario of, oh, it's us versus them. No, it should always be us and them. Right? Yeah. That's why we have all these political debates going on, all these agendas, and like, no, it's us versus that. No, it should never be us. We're all human beings. We're all trying to live our lives. It's never an us versus them. This isn't a school playground. Come on. Right. Enough of my Biolympic vitriol.
Sorry about that one, guys. That one was a very long topic.
I think there was so much to talk about.
Well, it's a core issue with the game, I think, and the way it's development, and we just go around in circles on it. And people believing that DE are out to get them is just wrong. I feel.
I think that should be a question. Do you believe DE is out to get you?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, do you honestly believe DE are out to make you miserable while playing their game?
Well, I think everyone was just gonna say no. But
yes,
I did put. I have noted. Do you think Limbo shouldn't have been nerfed during Scarlet Spear? That's
right.
Card put. Anyway, let's shimmy sham over to our second topic for the week. Right. Oh my God, DE! If you want your player base to focus less on damage, then stop nullifying every other alternative. Okay. Did we just get two of the same topic? How can anyone be surprised that Raw is the most useful used helmet ability? Every new enemy that introduced... Sorry, Lost running around like this. Oh my God, right.
I'm done.
Every new enemy that's introduced is completely immune to CC status or debunks stacking to the brim with armor or debuffs. I think that's supposed to be debuffs, not debunks. I'm going to put that going to change that in the doc. Or debuffs. Stacked to the brim with armor and can usually one-shot us. Our only choice is overwhelming damage. What do you want from us? Maybe you should focus less on gimping and more on enemy mechanics. Right. This actually screams to me. This is the not Helminth thing. This is, I'm going to check out the topic. This is the enemies from the Heart of Deimos. The Deimos. Actually, this is exactly as it reads. This doesn't elaborate.
Yeah.
How can anyone be surprised that every enemy that's introduced is this is verbatim. This is exactly what's been said. So I'm kind of, can we see, does this person actually specify anything? Oh god, this Reddit. Oh my god. Okay.
I still think this is still a better take than the last one, but still, yeah.
Right. I kind of wish that they gave examples, right? I kind of wish that there was no, right. Okay, so yeah, helmet. It's like Rhino's Roar is a superior choice for a lot of the game because doesn't it? What? Oh god, can you remind me?
It just ups damage.
It just ups damage.
Roar ups damage. Yep.
Right.
It's a buff. Ups damage.
I mean, the reason why I choose the Helminth strength, a power strength ability for my Oberon is because it ups survivability for my Oberon and anyone that's playing with me. But a lot of the player base just cares about damage. Yeah, I mean, what's the WoW meme? It is a WoW meme, isn't it? Like, oh shit. What's more's you want?
Oh no, that was a personal. It's not really a WoW meme.
Oh,
it's a
okay, it was personal.
Meme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay, there's a boss where there's mechanics, and it's like, right, Rogue, you have to DPS these fish tanks so the boss doesn't gimp us already. Right? Okay, right. Attack boss. Rogue just sits there stabbing boss. Fish tank appears. Fish tank buffs boss. Boss kills whole group. Rogue, why didn't you attack the fish tanks? I DPS boss. What more's you want?
That was it. I DPS boss. What more's you want? Yeah, and apologies. Thank you very much for clarifying. But I do feel that a lot of the player base feel that CC and supporting roles, supporting abilities and things take a back seat compared to the rest of the gameplay environment. Right? It's like, oh, gotta do more damage, gotta do more damage, gotta do more damage. And I do get the mentality. If they're dead, they can't hurt you. But at the same time, if they're frozen in place, or they're slowed, or they're friendly to, you mind control them, they also don't deal damage to you. Right?
Yeah.
So, I really wish there was more to this post. I really wish that there was like, you're expecting me to deal crazy damage with Chroma's... Doesn't Chroma have a weird thing where he gets more damage? So he deals more damage when something specific happens?
Takes damage.
Yeah, when he takes damage. Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't play Chroma. And...
Well, he buffs when he takes damage.
Why have you gone quieter?
Don't worry, I'm just opening some windows. I'm
setting something up. Have you taken your headset off?
Slightly.
Right, okay. So I feel that well, it does say they're immune to CC.
I don't think every mob is immune to CC.
No, but they're saying that the new stuff is immune. There's a lot of replies to this. Should we actually just go straight into the replies?
2 secs. Let me just put... So I'm just setting up so I can actually look at the things where I'm done. Okay. Sorry. I'm back. Put my hands on.
Cool.
Hands. Right. Okay. No, I did have something to say about this. Let's just go back, scroll down a bit. There we are. And oh god, there's a lot of replies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do feel this topic is a little bit better because they do make a good point.
But there's no
Only
examples.
choice is overall damage. CC versus damage is a balance thing, and you made a good point there that once the mob is dead, it can't do anything to you. So the last point is enemy mechanics, and I really think that there's something in that the flavor of the mobs we deal with, these. I'm sure the first topic you do nothing but white knight D, so I can be a little bit critical, right? They don't really investigate with interesting mechanics. Why isn't there a mob that when you kill it, it becomes an invulnerable ghost, and then it does its mechanics to you?
Yeah.
So if you choose to kill it early, yes, you've killed it, and you don't have to deal with it as a mob, but then it's gonna do something else to you.
Yeah.
Right? Why isn't there a mob where it doesn't actually do much damage to you? It's, let's say, I'm in one brain, I don't know. Imagine a small pink turtle.
Okay.
It's a small pink turtle in the room, maybe infested, I don't know, right? It doesn't do any damage to you, and it's very hard to kill, but it has an effect on you. So the mob itself is not directly there to just attack you. It's there to affect you. And so you can't just, but if you CC it, you put that effect time away, but you have to kill it eventually. But it's actually, it's going to take you a long time, or it's going to be like 10 seconds, 15 seconds of focus if you want to focus on that one mob to kill it, right? But then again, you don't have to worry about it killing you, right? So your interaction with the mob is different. Sometimes it's because, it's once you kill the mob, you can now no longer do anything to the mob. You are literally at its whim, and you just have to avoid it. And in this situation, you can affect the mob, and it's going to be hard for you to get rid of the mob, but you have to deal with it if you don't CC it, right? Neither of these examples are affected by the massive damage. Oh, and the little pink turtle, the way you kill it is not mad damage. It's going to be like, I don't know, it's got a Simon Says thing on its back, and you have to do it 5 times. Something like that. I know, not exact, just examples, right? They take time to deal with, right? Mad damage and CC. So mad damage is not the fix the situation. Most of the mobs that DE puts in, and don't get me wrong, I love some of the mobs they put in. I just get so frustrated that, and as they said, one of the comments actually in the previous point did say a lot of the mobs, they just feel the same because you never interact with the mobs in new and interesting ways. It's always the same way. It's always at the end of a gun. That's the only way you interact with mobs. Really, they did try with some things, but like the Bursa, interesting mechanic. That it's something at least. When you kill it, it doesn't quite die, and you can just make it on your side. But then that's it. It doesn't do anything else. You can't use it to do anything else. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't interact with your gameplay. It just becomes another source of damage or reduction of damage against you. It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, because for instance, like I'll give you a mob in, I know it's WoW. There's like these trolls in Sunken Temple that once you kill them, they become a blue ghost that will slowly move towards you, and they just deal damage. You can't kill them. You can't do anything. Your only solution is just to wait 20 seconds, and they'll die. But they'll just keep moving towards you. So if you can either just don't kill anything else and just literally run away so that they won't ever reach you. But then you're going to slow down your playtime. Or do you pull the next pack of mobs? But then you're going to have to fight that pack of mobs while also dancing around ghosts. If you kill too many of these at once, you've got loads of ghosts up, and your whole play area is covered with ghosts. So it becomes, you have options. You can change your gameplay. Can you explain to me anytime Warframe does that with a mob?
I think one thing I'd like to do, the next time it's just you and me, which I think it's episode 366.
You and
I would like
366. Really, we're having.
Yeah, we've got
3 guests in a row.
Yeah. So we've got
2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. So So we've got Plick It next week.
Yeah.
4 guests in a row. So Plick It next week. Then we've got a voice actor the week after.
Oh, wow.
After that, we've got a supporter, and then after that, we've got Tobiah with 365.
365.
So 366 is our next episode. That is just you and I. I would like us to come up with 3 distinct enemies with mechanics like we're describing. Each.
Right.
For Steel Path with 3
Steel Path exclusive.
Steel Path exclusive, right?
Okay.
And I think they should also. Oh my god, I'm giving us homework. They should also have 3 variations. So you know how we said like the nullifiers in. You've moved away from the microphone. Get closer. Sorry, not the microphone, not the microphone. The camera.
Well, the camera. I was a bit worried.
You're good.
I hate the fact I have to have this view of my camera, which means I constantly looking at it instead of looking at the bloody blob, which is the camera. Maybe I should just focus on that pink blob. Wish I could color it. Sorry.
Anyway,
yeah. Right.
So, but then you know how we said with like nullifiers work differently on Jupiter, on
years ago we came.
Yeah. Well, not years ago. It was more recent than that. But because it was with Steel Path. So I think we should do that. So 3 new enemies, right? But with 3 variations each, which planet they're on, right? So let's now it can either be Grenier, Corpus, Infested, Sentient, right? Yeah. Or if you want a new thing entirely, something that's maybe wilderness based or whatever. And yeah, I think and we'll make that a topic and we'll see what our community says. Like, we'll make it part of the polls. Do you like this? Do you like that? So on and so forth. Because your turtle idea, the instant you said that, I thought, oh, maybe we could hack it. Oh, and if you fail to hack it, it explodes and just kills. It explodes with void energy and overloads all the warframes.
Or
kicking everyone out into operators.
A 2-minute nullifier bubble in that area, which you can't get rid of it because it's already exploded. It's like it's affected the void in the area. You see?
Yeah. So
And you know what? Actually, I have an example of when that was in the game. Actually, for Warframe.
Yeah.
Do you remember years ago how the old toxic agents used to work? And you killed them, and they put green death gas on the ground. So you had to go, okay, right. If we kill them next to the that's gone now, isn't it? But that's a perfect example of it, because they would do area denial to you. If you were killing them around the cryopod, you'd have to leave the cryopod and like, okay, we're gonna have to shoot the mobs. The rest of them, I don't know if it did damage to the cryopod. I didn't remember it did. But let's say there was a whole pack of toxic ancients around the cryopod, which could happen because ancients were tough back then. They'd all die, and there'd be green death gas around it, and you'd have to go away and then shoot them from distance because you couldn't go anywhere near them because it would just kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an example.
Yeah.
So 3 ideas of mobs. 3 ideas with variations, or what?
3 ideas with 3 variations. So it's like it's basically 3 distinct mobs, but there's variations on how it would work differently on different planets.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll do that for 366. So I'll make sure to allot time to do this. Yeah, no, I'd love to do that. Like, I'd love to. Like, this is a topic we've come up with. And what if? How would you feel we did this and then gave it to our community ahead of time for them to leave replies? Or do you want it to just be like, let's just talk about our 3 ideas and 3 variations?
Well, when are we going to do it? Which one?
366.
366. Okay. No, we'll put them at 366, and then
we'll talk about the replies.
But we'll talk about it again later. Yeah, we'll do. And then should we also let the community come up with some?
Yeah.
And then let us know either in the description below or contact Xeno on Twitter. I would say, link in the description.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. I'd love to see some ideas for if people can come up with new mobs, because I feel that when the D has done like mob design things in the past, but they just focus more on the art of the mob.
Yeah,
like do you remember what the manic was supposed to do? Do you remember what the manic was actually supposed to do?
Yeah, it was supposed to grab you, teleport you somewhere else, and then start. Yeah, I swear it's supposed to be like the jockey in Left 4 Dead.
No. It was supposed to pop out of vents like a pop-up trap and then hold you down for a time.
It does on occasion hold you down. It can pin you.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It doesn't actually be an environmental effect that you can. Oh, there's a manic. There's a manic in that vent. I can see him.
Yeah,
I can see him. Yep.
I always
shoot him behind the time or something.
I always dislike the fact that manics technically still persist in the. I should just like remove the debuffs when a manic disappears. Seriously, because like I've molecular primed it. And then like, I'm gonna disappear now. It's like sort of like smoke bomb disappear, and then like you just see the molecular prime just go through the air. And you're like, I still see you.
I love when I do radio blind.
Yeah, exactly. Same problem.
And then you can see the eye thing. There's the eye smoke.
Yeah,
The effect
same
is like,
problem.
there they are. There he is.
Yeah.
There he's over there. Yeah.
So, especially with molecular prime, and they're moving at the snail's pace while invisible. Yeah. Anyway, cool. Right. So that's our challenge. Should we go straight to the replies? Are we in the replies?
We can commission some cheap pictures from.
Yeah, I could probably ask. I could probably get some in touch.
Just sketches. I just want a rough sketch because I love when someone puts a concept with nothing complex. I'm not looking at a beautiful piece of art, just a sketch. Just as what I like is because I love having a visual aid to it because it's like it just makes it easier. I feel we'll have to look into this. We will look into this.
Cool.
Some work to do done.
Yeah.
And of course, pay them, commission them. Of course.
Yeah. Replies.
Red replies. People just want to boost their damage and cheese out, dude. Obviously, the average player will go for raw. They was cheesing if out. Cheesing the fuck. Sorry, it's very small. Cheesing the fuck out with maiming strike a few years ago. Yeah,
I don't remember maiming strike. Is that the healing one?
The,
no, that's life strike.
No, wasn't maiming strike the one that if you did the slide attack, it was instant crit?
Probably.
Or was it the one that upped crit damage? Because it's very hard for me to type and swap to a window. I don't know if you want to just quickly put it in the Warframe wiki. Well, I could.
I'll do it.
It was the one that was increased status. No, increased crit based off. I think it was increased crit based off combo.
Oh, pardon me. Sorry.
Right, hang on.
No, it was improved crit chance on slide attacks.
Oh, was it? Okay, it was that one. Okay, cool. Right. There's always going to be something which there's so many damage sources in the game. I don't think people have really taken a step back and looked at it. I remember I was complaining years ago there was too many damage sources and I wanted to see unique uses of weapons and niches for things. And now, since then, we've gotten only more and more things.
Yeah.
So this is just going to happen. There's going to be something which is the best.
I mean, no, actually, I think the thing that this person's highlighting is the fact that it's the mentality of the player base. Like, everyone wants to just have higher damage, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm in agreement. This is what I was saying earlier. People want to go for Rhino's Raw because it just does more damage. Yeah, no, I can get behind that.
I'm a firm believer that all these problems are not because of abilities, nerfs, CC, or anything Warframe related. It's mission design. Almost all mission types revolve around killing. Most of these can be completed faster if you kill faster. This leads to people gravitating into the path of kill efficiency, and there is nothing DE can do about it unless missions stop being all about killing. Even mobile defense gets way easier if everything just dies. But just take Spy as an example. Spy is a mission type that doesn't require killing, and killing doesn't even help you. At least not until the mass murder. At least not the usual mass murder. And wouldn't you know it, it's a mission type where the meta frames aren't the fucking Terminator. What's with the swearing all the time today? So much swearing, so much negativity.
British.
Oh, apparently it's cold in 8 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Cold in Ormvalis for 20 minutes. Right. Yeah. But I do think there's something in this point. I agree with them.
Yes. But I also feel there's more to it than this. Is because the players just want to kill things. The players want the easiest cheese. The players...
Yeah, because the problem is, they add this thing in the game. They make it mandatory. People will complain. Why? Because I can't just use my normal, my catch moon as it was. I can just kill everything in my catch moon in 20 minutes. Sorry, 20 seconds. So I hate this. How dare you add this into the
20th
game?
20th of a second, yeah.
Yeah. It's like how fishing and mining especially, gets loads of hate when they make you do it. But then, people say like, oh, well, add more things in the game which you're not killing. Well...
We do that, and then you just whinge that it's not killing.
Even if they had different types of killing, let's say Arcwing. Oh, don't like that. Why? Because the catch moon doesn't kill everything in 20 seconds.
Okay.
So, let's quickly spitball an idea. Can you come up with a mission type which isn't about killing? What can we do?
I would like a mission type. So you know the defection mission type. Oh, now you could. Sorry, are we talking like brand new original, or are we talking about
however you want?
Okay.
Just a mission. Well, this person's saying they want a mission like see spy doesn't. You can complete spy without killing a single person, right? Can we come up with more missions like that?
Okay, so a mission type where you don't have to kill, just kill.
Yeah.
Spy. Oh my god. Sorry, my brain was unprepared for this. Booting into strange place.
Shall I push one forward?
Yeah,
go.
Go.
Right. So the tricky thing here is I'll expand this to give you time to think. So the key thing here and why this is tricky is that it's called Warframe. We're Warframes. We kill people. It's what these things are designed to do. Look at these hands; they're covered in blood. So what else could you do? Well, let's look in the premise. We've got space. What about ones where you have to go to a spaceship that's just injured? It's been hit by asteroids or something, and it's full of colonists, and you have to rescue the colonists. How would it? What do you do in the mission then? Right. Okay. Well, we've already got what's the game type where you have to get people out?
Defection. I was
Defection.
Yeah.
Defection. Right. So let's work on defection, but the mobs, you're freeing colonists, and they'll go through a set path, and you won't fight enemies, so you don't really need to use your gun at all. But the thing is, the ship is falling to bits. So, and this will take I think, quite a bit of development time, and there may be some warframes which are better than others. That your goal is to stop the ship from crushing, from vents from exploding, from electrical hazards, from the entrance to the exits. You know, where you're helping another ship which is ready to take the survivors off. Or maybe that sometimes you have different options of where you have to take the survivors or something. So it's the defection thing, but there's no enemies. You're literally engaging in interacting with the ship. At the moment, the only way we interact with the ship is with hacking. I want to see more of that. I've always wanted to see hacking expanded. I loved it when they added the Grenier hacking versus the Corpus hacking. Why is there not more of that? Why can't we need to have more interaction with our environments? Why can't we log into computers? Why can't we affect the cameras? Why can't we affect turrets? Why can't we, they need to make a whole interface for that, and it'd be more depth. But so you could do that. So you could actually affect the environment that you're trying to get your NPCs through. There we go. Do you know why people hate it? Because it's an escort mission. But you'd have to make it optional, whatever. It wouldn't be on the main star chart. It'd be a side mission. It'd be alert. You could skip it. But that's the tricky thing. If you put this content in, like with trials, and nobody's doing it, where's the return on investment? It's catch-22 no matter where you look at it. But that's what I think. So how would then what's spent in Warframe, right? So sometimes this is where it becomes tricky. In certain Warframe, it would be down to the individual Warframe powers. Let's say like a container crate is going to fall onto the mobs, but if you're a rhino and you charge into it, you hold it in place, or you can iron skin it and hold it so it doesn't crush the mobs while they're getting through. So it'd be interesting. So you'd have certain abilities, and how they interact with objects in this mission would be different. But that would be another step to the mission if you could. At the very least, you could at least interact with things in the environment by hacking and doing all these new UI things to stop like electrics zapping them, or things falling on them, or them being burned or whatever, or keeping plasma flows down. Yeah, so that's the goal of the mission. You have to scan things to understand them before you can hack it or whatever, Yeah.
Unfortunately, my creativity is like either not turned on. Like, I'm struggling to think of anything. Like, the only thing that I would really like in terms of a mission type is where you've got to go do like maybe an assassinate or something like that. Again, this is why it's failing. But the environment, it actually feels entirely different, where you've literally got Corpus and Grenier doing a huge firefight exchange. It's like, so imagine the plains of Eidolon. There's a couple of trenches going between the plains, and it's like going across the plains, and both sides are like literally firefighting against each other, like a World War II era kind of thing. Maybe sometimes they go over the trench and into no man's land, actually. But like, to me, my brain is only living in the scenario sort of thing where the current missions still exist.
Well, I don't see how you're okay. So you've got a massive pile of Grenier fighting massive pile of Corpus. I don't see why the nuke frame that kills both of them can't just wade through that without paying any attention
the problem.
to them.
That's the problem. That is
So I think that's why the core thing is our ways of interacting with our environment are very limited. When you load into a map, you can either parkour around, so you can get to interesting locations. You can hack terminals to just do one thing, and you can shoot mobs. That's it. You can't. change your environment in other ways. I think they need to add more things. That's why I'm saying that we need to get new UIs for what you're doing in a ship and what you're affecting, so that we can affect your environment, because that allows for mission types. At the moment, you just shoot things. That's all you can really do.
It's not just, oh god, it's like, realistically, you need an environment where maybe this should be a sentient environment. Maybe I'm finally kicking in my brain here.
There we go.
Maybe. Oh, I mean, also, sorry, hold on. There's the whole train idea. I'm ignoring that for a start because, like, I've done that one to death. But
no, go for it. What?
So first off, the train idea is sort of like a never-ending train kind of thing. Maybe it has like 50 carriages.
Never-ending? Yeah, I was going to say. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe it has like 50 carriages, but the idea is it's a really long-form train, and it's like a Grineer train or a Corpus train, and it's something like the Snowpiercer, where it's going around like an entire planet kind of thing, and the outside is really inhospitable, so on and so forth. So you need to be inside the carriages, and you're trying to prevent this train from getting to its destination. So periodically, maybe you've got a time limit of, I'm talking like a crazy amount of time, 6 hours to get this thing done. And it could be over the course of a week. But the idea is that when you get to like carriage 5, then you disconnect the last carriages, and you can then Lisette in from carriage 5 to continue doing it, kind of thing. So you know how in WoW, when you've done...
I'm with you,
yeah, cool, right. So when you've done up to a certain boss, you can finish for the night and then come back another night and continue on from there. So it's similar to that. So you get... But also, the idea... So each carriage would have like a special thing. Like one may be a sabotage, one may be a vault, one may be a... mobile defense. Maybe you need to get to the mobile defense, do that before you can go back and do the sabotage. And likewise, the enemy can come in from behind, so that they can be dropping in troops and stuff into the back of the ship where it's exposed, and train, back of the train where it's exposed, and try and undo some of the damage that you've done. Maybe they could try and slow down the train so that older carriages could reconnect, right? They're trying to get like so there's different things that you can do. You do the carriages, you keep progressing on. That was one idea, but that's more of a mix-up of everything that already exists.
I'm going to take your idea and I'm going to change it.
Okay.
Because the tricky thing is, it was good until you added all these mission types and things, and you've added these enemies, because once again you've fallen into the trap, as this person's saying, that, well, shooting just makes it quicker. The enemies can't reconnect it if I'm just the murder machine.
Yeah.
Right. How about? I like the idea of the train, but I think you've gone too long on it. The problem. Oh, here's a train, fully automated Corpus prisoner transport. Yeah. No proxies on board. Nothing but security traps, because it's completely sealed. Right. The goal that anyone shouldn't be able to get in there and whatever. And all the mock people are stored in very cubes, so it should be as they were like, if we don't give a space for the Tenno to operate, they won't be able to get in there. But so you are literally on a time limit. You've got to get to this train because it's only exposed. Let's say it's got on a planet. It's going from one facility to the other, and the facilities are super locked down. You're never going to get in there, or if you do, they're going to kill the prisoners once they get there. So you're on a time limit, and it's all about parkour. You have to get to the more trains you get. So it's a train with, let's say, I like your 50 carriages. I like the length of it because it's tricky. And you've got a time limit. I'm going to say like 10 minutes, right? And you've got to only parkour and interact and hack your way from back of the train to forward. And as you finish each carriage, you disconnect it and it falls away, which means it's not going to get to its destination. So the quicker you parkour and you hack and you interact, I'd love to see some new interactions, that you get through the train, the more carriages you disconnect and the more people you save. There are no enemies to fight on the train. But it's all about warframes, and warframes are quick and parkour. So we're using the elements of warframes, but we're not using it to kill people.
The other side of this,
the game.
I was thinking was it would be good if there was a sentient-based environment where there are sentient enemies that if you go up against, they will just murderize you. These are literal tanks.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. These are the sentients of legend.
Yeah, you do not want to fight these things. These things will wreck your face. These are like, no, you're supposed to ram a railjack into this thing. Anyway,
we nuke them from orbit. We don't. Yeah, we
Yeah.
avoid these ones. Yeah.
So we don't have the technology to deal with these ones. So the idea is that it's more of a sneaking around environment, because even if you were to have the, like, for example, spy, yeah, you can go around, you can Avara a spy, you can Loki a spy, or I can take Nova, molecular primer, everything, blow it all up so it can't hit any of the buttons, and then just roll when I need to. You know, there's still that element. I think if there are enemies that will fuck you up, like, I think one thing that would be really nice is let's introduce a sentient, or maybe a mid boss, which is Natar, you know, that pushes your operator out of your warframe and captures your operator, and then you have to do the harvester escape mission.
Yeah.
You have to do that sort of thing as your operator.
Yeah.
So like they've put you in like a anti-void field, or so you can't transference back into your warframe, and the whole ship is surrounded by it. So your warframe's somewhere on the ship, and you have to go find it. I something like that.
No, I like. See, the sentience. This is the thing. I like the fact the sentience. There's a lot more depth to them, and the way this is supposed to be an enemy, which is supposed to be on par with a warframe, with Tenno. You were built to try and fight them, and you only really fight them on par, and it's tricky. And there's less of us now than there was before, and we don't have the backing of the Orokin war machine to power us up. So in theory, we should be weaker to them, and so there's maybe these big, so the equivalent of a Fomorian sentient, and it's coming straight at us, and if we just fight it head on, the insides is filled with death turrets and everything, so we have to stealth around the map, and sometimes you leave your warframe because you have to do things your operator, and sometimes if your warframe might just get detected and it gets sent somewhere, and you have to go find your warframe first before you can continue on. I like that.
Likewise.
And so the goal is to get to a reactor or something to cripple it from the inside, because we don't have our super spaceships anymore, our own Fomorian class style ship to fight back. And this isn't just that's the thing I love about the sentient environment. It's like, it's pretty, but it doesn't feel hostile. Why have they built these ships?
There's nowhere
I
near
could
enough
live here.
sentience in there.
I should be fighting the walls themselves.
One of the things that I'd really like to see with the crap. Now you said that, it's completely thrown me. One thing I would like to see in this mission type is, know how the kiddo can stealth around and things like that? Like, in areas that if you use your kiddo abilities, you'll get detected, right? So you have to be exposed in the real world, and you can't use your hand laser, you can't stealth, you can't jump through it, you can't push, you have to not engage, you have to hide behind things, so on and so forth. And maybe it's a case of the enemies have to telegraph what they can and cannot see better, right? Much like you had in Metal Gear Solid, where on the radar you could see the vision cone. Maybe you actually have to physically have a light where the vision of the enemy is. But so it's
so like a void sniffer sentient.
Effectively,
So it's basically blind, but within the cone it can see you, and as you use powers, it moves towards you because it senses the void powers.
So it's so I'd like to see stuff like that. Very much like you had to do stuff in the War Within as just your operator. So then I literally just thought of something else in terms of a mission, but I think let's just move on. We've been on this for a long time.
Not as long as the first topic.
No. We're on one reply right now.
Okay. Right. Were we? Oh, wow, we are. What does DE want me to do? Paste decoy on every frame and play Mirage from Apex Legends, bamboozling the living shit out of them. That won't make me kill Steel Path mobs faster. Decoy isn't even fun for me to slap it on a frame. Fair. No, see, I'm not against that this does highlight some things need buffing or new things done to them. Decoy, good example. Anything to say?
Well, the other side of it is like you're doing Steel Path. Steel Path is not meant to be easy. It's supposed to like smack you around the face a few times. You have to change it up. Why are you putting decoy on everything?
There was a dark era when DE was starting to put CC immunity on even some common enemies, trying to make fights more difficult to cheese. but they've been walking that back handily ever since, starting with their experiments of only partial resistance to CC on liches. Every enemy on Demos is vulnerable to CC, and most are vulnerable to status. Even the Canis Rex is coded to be vulnerable to CC, though the physics engine is having trouble with CC affecting such a heavy enemy.
What? The majority of that doesn't make sense. The majority of what this says actually goes against what the original post is saying. And in addition,
maybe this is.
I don't understand how the physics engine is having trouble with CC.
Well, I think I don't know. I've never tried to Bastille.
Yeah.
A big spiny dude.
You might not be able to.
Yeah. I don't know. If it bugs out, then yeah, it's the physics engine, but I doubt it's the physics engine. I mean, the physics engine would mean like I pick up a rock and it goes flying off there.
Yeah.
Like I pick up this rock. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So that feels a bit weird. Okay, should we move on to the next one?
Don't take those charts too seriously. Most of it is factored, common, and rare warframes. Most of it is factored, common, and rare warframes. Simplicity and the need for crutches for those lacking fully maxed mods. Damage increase is just easily used and covers a lot of holes.
I don't. No, people just want more damage.
Demos added a new type of fuck you in a damned artillery unit with insanely powerful gas / procs. Hell yes. Please off-screen me with these tiny little disc things some more. It's great that the Infested got a new niche, a new mechanic, but does it have to be a battle cruiser? I can't imagine playing Demos on my alt account because those tanky goddamn juggalos would one-shot so many frames I play there. Even if you survive, any Sentinel you might think you had is fucking gone with no recourse because all we know... we all know you need even fewer reasons to use a Sentinel instead of a cat or fox.
Is there something we're seriously missing here? Because it feels like people are talking about different points.
Maybe a lot of people are steel pathing Demos. Have you steel path Demos?
Yeah, it is hard as shit. But I would have thought it was meant to be. My issue with the steel path of Demos is the fact that so many of those spiny bastards appear compared to regular infested, or even other the Demos infested, right? Grey strain, other grey strain. But regardless of that, I mean, it's supposed to be hard. It's fucking steel path.
Yeah. I get the feeling that people are complaining about this just because it's the new thing and they haven't quite got used to it.
Sorry, I thought you were going to read the last... Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Once people get used to it, they'll just complain about the next thing. And it's not really that... I don't know. I will hold my hands up and say that I haven't really done that much of Demos. I haven't done Demos on Steel Path. I haven't seen how painful the Skelety Juggalo boys are. So maybe they are just insane and I'll be one screaming alongside you soon. Or could it be that this is just a new mob, you haven't got quite used to dealing with it yet, and give it another month or two and you're like, oh yeah, that's easy, and then some new mob will come out and you'll complain about that, and these mobs, oh yeah, well we know how to deal with those, they're easy, this strategy came up, or this, you do this and you do that and they're fine, and that they're just whinging because it's new and hard. I don't know.
So I don't know if you're aware of this. I think this has been raised in the comments of previous episodes. The best way to get rep with Intrati is just to farm mother tokens. Don't bother wasting any other tokens or even grandmother tokens on rep grinding the Intrati, right? Fair enough. Now, the majority of... Sorry, I think doing one run of a Steel Path... Heart of Deimos. Sorry, I was trying to remember what the fucking planet was called. Sorry, Moon. Yeah, but one run of Steel Path Deimos nets you like an insane amount of mother coins, right? Tokens. But doing, I think it's 3 or 4 runs of bounty difficulty 3 for Heart of Deimos will net you the same amount in the same amount of time. But instead of like smashing your face against a brick wall, you're slaughtering everything. You're just doing it multiple times. So it may be that people are like trying to fight the big Truckosaurus Rex on Steel Path, and they're getting frustrated by it. It's like, unless I'm being really dense with the original post, DE, if you want your player base to focus less on damage, stop nullifying every other alternative. Fair enough. How can anyone be surprised that Roar is the most used Helminth ability? Well, duh. I mean, Rhino is the easiest Warframe to get. He's the first one you get, isn't he?
Yeah.
Every new enemy was introduced by completing immune to CC. Wait. Every new enemy that's introduced is completely immune to CC status or debuff, stacking to the brim with armor, and can only and can usually one-shot you. That can usually one-shot you is bollocks. The only
maybe Steel
choice
Path.
I think it's like, is there Steel Path in this topic that no one has outwardly said? Like, is it just missing
one
from
of the previous
notes?
replies said Steel Path, but
Yeah.
it doesn't.
I'm wondering if it's missing from our notes. Let me just double check the original post, because
While you're doing that, I will agree at the end there that Sentinels do have an issue. Sentinels should the effect for the Djinn, where the Sentinel comes back after X amount of time, needs to become baseline. I think we proved it several times with the 24 hours missions, where I keep picking a Sentinel for those, and the Sentinel just goes, and then the only way I can get out is if I die. It's silly. Sentinels need that, even if it is like a 10-minute cooldown or a 5-minute cooldown. 5 minutes seems much. Just fine. 5 minutes seems fine. You lose your Sentinel, you'll get it back. It'll regenerate in 5 minutes. Do that. I think that would give Sentinels just a little bit more utility and use. You know it will come back. I mean, maybe, yeah, you could say it just dies instantly anyway, but you get at least something out of it rather than that's it. You don't get it anymore. I just think, yeah. I mean, companions, they've been doing all these adaptations for companions, the consistency of them. Can we have one for Sentinels, please? Just like that. I do agree with that point on that.
So
I love to use Sentinels, so.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Sentinels definitely need some TLC. But so the original poster never clarifies what the hell they're talking about. I don't know what level they are. I don't know what.
We haven't done that in a while, looking up the levels of people.
No, but well, they're not on the forum, so we can't do that. But
it's true.
You know, that we don't know. Yeah, there's just no. But everyone's run away with this. Everyone's like, there's like leagues and leagues of replies about so many different elements to this. And really? I think basically, to me personally, someone's lit a match and loads of people have just stoked their flames with this match because, or, lit their torches with this match, and everyone's talking about something different.
Right, their own individual problems. They stepped on a landmine and found a cavern, basically, you're saying.
Yeah, so
let's
should we
move
do
on to
the
the next reply, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
There's one more reply.
Mm-hmm.
The outrageous damage numbers is one of the main draws to keep playing Warframe. When you
see new mods or...
When you see new mods or a new weapon and watch those high-level enemies, it's satisfying. It's also the thing that makes Warframe so boring after a while. When you've already got the weapons made and find yourself spanking another Lich for an extra 2% damage on a weapon you use sometimes, or farming Kuva for your 300th reroll on that ribbon for your favorite weapon, and you just want the mission to be done so you can move on.
Oddly enough, this sounds very similar to a conversation we were having with Morass just the other day.
Yeah.
About, it depends. Like, he has to have high enough
returns in his effort to increasing his player power for him to feel like it's worth the gameplay loop.
Yeah, which is really interesting because, like, to me, like, I just want the challenge. I want the difficulty. If I lose the difficulty in challenge, then I'm not interested, right? But, so I don't care if it's big numbers. But, oh my god, you drinking is hilarious!
No, that's me just lifting up my headset for a sec to check it. Why? I don't know what it does. You want me to drink?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh. I might need to get rid of this hand, and then oh no, wait, oh god, there.
No, stop.
I'll get it.
We're so close to the end of the show. It goes into your neck. Oh, is it because you got the headset up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's hilarious. Right.
Your lols.
My lols.
Yep.
Cool. Right. I think that maybe there is more to it where people want like more return on their investment, and like unless it's like in the quadrillions, I think that's probably like one of the biggest concerns when it comes to video games for like World of Warcraft or God, what's the name of the other one we're talking about right now? Warframe. Where where oh god, was it? Yeah, it was Tactical Potato did a tweet out with a clip of doing like millions of damage using his necromech, and Scott was like, that needs a nerfing. So yeah. I do feel that if people, yes, I think this is a really big thing. If people are used to and accustomed to seeing millions of numbers, they're going to demand that more of everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's
people acclimatized the new level of damage.
No, but it's purely the numbers, right? So, yeah, it's fucking damage numbers, Loz. It's fucking damage numbers. For anyone that doesn't realize, for the longest time ever, like Loz and myself weren't running with any numbers whatsoever. It was all based on feeling.
Well, that was when the game was more stable on how much damage you did, and there wasn't any ridiculous mods, which meant you'd have to have crazy.
No, it wasn't just that, but like we were just getting horrendously blinded by
killing things with maths.
Yeah,
shotguns were the worst. Shotguns are my favorite because when you shoot an enemy, you just don't see the enemy because it's just become a wall of numbers for a few seconds.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just turned off the affinity numbers. I've just got the damage numbers on now.
Right.
Anyway, all right. I think we are done.
Yep.
With this topic, let's move straight on to the memes. Oh god, I need to open them.
No.
What? No.
Graphs?
No. Oh shoot! Yes. Sorry, I completely forgot. That's what we're gonna do. Sorry, everyone. I'm
over here. It's down here.
I've jumped the gun. Do you want to write the time down? I've jumped the gun.
Yes.
Write the time
down. I can do the time.
Okay. Right. So I'm gonna get the graphs up. Do you want me to wait? Do you want me to just do it?
No, you go for it, man.
Okay. So the first graph. Do you have the Zymos? So last we were always talking about Zymos. 24 people responded. 42% said no, and 58% said yes. I'm assuming you don't have the Zymos.
Hang on, I think I've got my stuck on a right click.
What's
I don't have the Zymos now.
No. Okay. Right. So yeah, not surprising. Moving straight on to the second graph. Should every weapon be viable in every situation? Again, 24 people responded. 8% said...
well with this. Sorry.
What?
Sorry, I was doing so well with this. I pushed delete too much.
Okay.
Go for it.
8% said, am I concerned? Hope not. Right, 8% said no, 21% said yes, and 71%... Sorry, oh god. 8% said that they didn't care. 21% said yes, and 71% said no. That every weapon should be viable in every situation. Loz is like, good.
Yep. The graphs. Oh,
yeah.
So which graph 2 on? Should every weapon be viable in every situation? No. Yeah.
Good.
I'm with that.
Good. Right. So
I love it. I do expect it. It's a good our community. I would agree with it. Every weapon you shouldn't be able to use one gun and just be like, that's it for the whole game. I'm totally with it.
Right. The third graph is, should DE put necromech remains in the rest of the origin system? No. Sorry, my bad. Should the Zymos be changed to weak points instead of headshots. Wow, this is actually really average across the board. So 29% said no, 33% said yes, and 38% said that they didn't care. These are really close to each other. I think it's just like, one person saying, yeah. If one person said no instead of don't care, it would have been 33 across the board. Yeah.
Well, it's so balanced.
Yeah.
So, but the winner is don't care.
Don't care. But it's pretty much everyone.
Interesting.
Everyone's divided. So, moving on to our fourth graph.
Yeah, with you now.
Should DE put necromech remains in the rest of the origin system? Right? 35% said no, it's a waste of resources. I'm pretty sure that's what it says. Find graph. No, it's a waste of resources. And 65% said yes, it would flesh them out.
Yeah, flesh. I can see that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And what?
I just read the next
one. Okay. And our fifth graph is do you feel the lore of necromechs is lacking? 4% said don't care. 8% said no. 13% said there is lore already. You have just missed it, Xeno. I'm wondering if that's just a troll. It's like, it's hard to tell. I expected that number to be a lot higher if it was genuine. And 75% said yes. So, yeah. Cool. That's it for the graphs.
Cool.
Right, turn them off. Oh, I haven't turned off the top.
Okay, so the next thing is the supporter questions, which I'm just going to write the timing quick.
Why don't I do that and you can?
No, I'm good. No, look. Oh no. Oh, I was good. I was that. I'm gonna get it. Look, hang on. Oh, can you just write 09?
God damn it!
I pushed. Okay, the problem was my shift button was next to my up on my keyboard that's here. So I was so close. I need to not push them. Anyway,
sure.
What are questions? Which I have. I have those. Oh, down to this window. Come on, scroll. There we go. And then I click this, and they pop out. Look at that. Here we are. Right, main Zephyr. As one of the main players that watched the Railjack demo during Tenno reveal and the dev stream that showed more in depth and released relevant views on it, you were introduced to the tasks that might be needed to do on Railjack. You knew there would be piloting, gunnery, and the Arcwing torpedo launcher. Then it's broken. Sorry. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to give up on that at some point. Fixing the ship with the Omni tool and the crafting in the forge. Did you know that none of this at all is at all explained to players that did not see those introductions? Unlike every other system in the game, which has at least a minor quest connected with showing off the system, the Railjack quest is purely for building one, not actually using it. Wow.
Arcwing's the same.
That's Thalian, isn't it? Main Zephyr's Thalian. Yeah. That is a really good point, Thalian.
Yeah.
It's the problem with it's the same thing with Arcwing as well.
Yeah.
I know it's not as bad as this, but like whenever they put a tutorial into the game, they put the tutorial quest as like a showpiece and not as a learning experience.
Yeah.
I mean, Lunaro actually got a tutorial thing option you can play through to teach you the controls. Why does anything else? That's a really good point. Well, and that they kind of, he makes a point, they're kind of relying on the player base, which they are. A lot of the player base are I need better with them religious. They really do watch everything and know everything. So yeah, they will be introduced to it through the reveal of the content. So then DE thinks everyone's on board to the same level, and so when they release the content, they don't put a tutorial in.
So
really good point, Taylor.
I do know that it's been revealed that the reason why they don't do tutorials is because they rely heavily on content creators to do the tutorials. And I both agree with this and disagree with this. I agree with it with the sense that doing tutorials for a one-time, you're going to look at this, or maybe a couple of times you're going to look at this. It's a lot of work for minimum user experience.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not in the environment that you would expect it in. Like, for example, I was having a giant rag at someone that like I'll be honest, I'm sick to death of people saying Destiny is superior to Warframe. I get it a lot, and I'm done hearing it. And I defended my point on a YouTube comment highlighting the fact that the lore in Destiny is just not there. Like the plot and the world building is just not in Destiny 2. It's not in the game. Fine. But like I said, show me in the game where this plot is, and they turn around and said, "Oh, go check out My Name Is Bife's videos." No, I don't want to look at someone's videos. I want it to be explained to me in the game. This I'm in the game. I'm not in YouTube, right?
So then you're saying the same for Warframe, yeah?
And yeah, exactly. So the problem is the tutorials are not in Warframe. So it becomes really difficult. Maybe they could do paid sponsorships where a tutorial from YouTube could be embedded in Warframe, but it's again you're sinking resources into something that may dramatically change in a short period of time or be removed.
Then you just need to update it, and you should commit to that.
Yeah, but who's paying for the update?
Players to DE.
I suppose. Anyway.
Yeah. Zaku's first, this is still from Thalen, sorry. Zaku's first ability adds void damage to all weapons, but DE has made the decision to say that this void damage does not damage sentient shields and eidolons or the Ropalololi. Ropadopalist. It's a spelling mistake there, Thalen. You might correct that. Ropadopalist.
Yeah.
With the camera. This decision was obviously made for the balance of the game, but how would you attempt to explain it using your knowledge of the lore?
No.
It's a different flavor.
It's a different... No, I do not give me two different types of void damage. I dislike the fact that the void wizard doesn't actually banish things to the void. Like, it's... No, I mean, I hate that.
Consistency is supreme.
Yeah.
Is what it's supposed to be. And if you don't have consistency, then you're breaking the rules of your own law of your game. And that's what I think with this. I swear they completely regularly forget the whole sentience take void damage and sentience supposed to be immune to void. I think that one just is the back of their mind all the time, because otherwise they would never have gone, oh, it does void damage. Right, so that means it does this really good damage to this then, because these are supposed to be weak to this in the lore. Like, what?
Shit.
Yeah. It's a complete oversight, and I don't like it. I really don't like it. The best you can say is something along the lines of you'd have to go into real deep of it, and that the method of channeling the energy from the void alters it so that the
it's
operator channeling it is a pure form.
Yeah.
But by the operator isn't doing. It's not true. It's not true void damage that you're getting from Zaku and Limbo, because it's actually the void energy in the void is going through the warframe from the operator, and then after it expels from the warframe, yes, it is still void-esque, but it is a different frequency or a different element or a different energy state because of that transferal from the operator to the warframe to the enemy. Whereas when it comes from the operator, or where else can you get it from? Just the operator?
Yeah, no, I mean, well, it's obviously the void itself.
And the void itself, yeah. It's a more pure form. You're a pure conduit of it. Whereas through the warframe, it's a diluted form, which is that's the best you can do. That's the best you can do. And that is really this is a massive plot hole, and I'm trying to fix it, and I don't.
But isn't there's also like the paracesis as well? Like, the sword that does more damage to the infested somehow.
Sentience.
Sorry, sentience somehow.
Yeah. But then you could say that is a crystallized form of void energy.
Oh my god, let's move on.
I know, I hate doing it, because it's like when I've nitpicked something that I hate does that kind of thing, like the new Star Wars sequels, and I'm like, well, about this plot, this whole plot, this whole one. And I'm like, well, it might be this, but it doesn't show that in the game. It doesn't say that in the game. And I would much prefer if Warframe nailed down these things and explained them and actually chose to do it.
Wasn't that
instead of letting us do it?
In WoW, wasn't there like two different types of the same named energy? Or
There's two different types of Death Knights.
Yeah, there's that. There's also there's one dimension for demons that span multiple universes, and
Yeah, and it's the same for like the elemental planes. Is it like just the elemental plane for this planet, or all elemental planes? And there's a ping on the phone. Ping. Right, Zrugal, Kana has a cookie.
Yes.
One cookie for Zrugal. Do you know what song daughter listens to? Honest question. It sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
Not a clue. I would imagine it had been something custom written.
Shazam. Wow. In fact, you can't see that thing because I don't think you can. I'll still hold this phone up. Alien. Alien's back. I think they mentioned on the dev stream that it's a mix of
is you replying
I think this is answering Google's question for him.
Right.
It's a mix of lo-fi versions of their own existing songs plus some new ones on rotation. I'm guessing Octania's Anthem is in there if you want a recognizable one. Yeah.
There. Cool.
Dovaru, which is harder to achieve? Loz's face in Warframe getting fixed, or Xeno getting a white Father Christmas beard?
Loz's face.
Loz's face, and it's impossible to fix that anyway. Just give him a few years and he'll go grey.
No. My what's got a Santa beard in Warframe, wasn't it? Or is it like my beard going grey?
Xeno getting a white Father Christmas beard. I think it's you dyeing your beard white.
I'm not fucking dyeing my beard white. Fuck off.
Wait.
What?
I didn't say anything about being a fake beard. I mean, we can give him a fake beard if you want for Christmas.
Moving on.
I'll buy him a fake beard.
Moving on.
What would you do first if you had 2 Infinity Gauntlets for each hand? What would you do first if you had 2 Infinity Gauntlets for each hand, one for Warframe's universe and one for this one? What would you change now that you had achieved ultimate dev mode for both worlds?
So
get my face back.
So I have 4 Infinity Gauntlets?
Yes.
But 2 for Warframe, 2 for real life.
Yeah.
Right. 1, fix Arcwing. Right? That's an easy one, right? Like, fix Arcwing. What would I do for the next one? Fix Railjack. Give Railjack content and shit. Right, there you go. So there's my 2 Warframe gauntlets. Right? Are you trying to snap your fingers? You can't do it because you got a thing in your hand. Do you want me to do it for you?
Oh no. Let me just grab that. Put that back.
What?
Trying to click. I can't click. It won't click.
In real life, lose weight, right? Because I seriously need to lose some weight.
Take that one as well.
And this has always been a dream of mine. The last one. I would love to have a creator studio, like Corridor Digital, where I have my own studio where content creators could come work, and I would pay them a wage, but make the profits from the videos that they create. That's something I'd love to do. Absolutely. I'd still work at my normal job, but I would love to run that studio for them, sort of thing. Weird.
Fair. Cool. All right, that's it for those.
Wait, what about yours?
Just my face 4 times.
What, even real life face?
Well, I'd need to have D fix my face in real life for it to be in the game.
Okay.
So I'd spend all 4.
Okay.
To get my face back.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay. I'll stick with the joke.
No, it's up to you if you want to answer it.
No, it's fine. You can't really answer those kind of things until you're there in the situation. You put some thought to it. I mean, you'd go like world peace or something. I don't know.
Oh no, I was mostly going on what do I bang on about the most.
Right. Right. That's it for that.
Okay. So we're done with the supporter questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did say.
So we're gonna go for the community. No. You just read it out. I will type it. Right. I will type the time. You just read out the community responses. We'll be here all year. Gone.
Okay, from Trex Paddocks. Hey guys, just a thought. It could be that Father has been upgrading the Necrolist weapons and armor all these years. Like a vintage car enthusiast, he keeps his jalopy on the road by hook or by crook. It could also be that the Tenno is able to supercharge the Necrolist because void magic. It could also be that sentients were able to totally adapt to Necron's weapons, so the next wave needed weapons and platforms that had a wide enough variety of abilities and damage types that it was more than they could adapt to all at once.
The last one I'm not 100% on board for, but the rest of them I actually really like the answers. Who is this?
Trax Paddock.
Good job, Trax Paddock.
Frosthawk 2815 on topic 2. Our hubris shone like a black star. For our technology, our war machines were your kin. How easily you turned them against us. We were forced to older means, not circuits, not lights, but flesh and disease. Ballast in the third Vitruvian entry in the Sacrifice quest. I think this is what was being referred to as the first wave. Necromechs might be good, but it seems like the sentients could override them as they were partially technology and not biological, like warframes. That's a fair point. Well done there, Frosthawk 2815, for picking that out.
Yeah.
I wish D would acknowledge this a bit more, though. I mean, don't breadcrumb us. Come on, give us.
Well, no, I'm fine with that.
Slice
but if they could actually make it more accessible, like, because otherwise I have to go do the whole sacrifice again, you know. But I thought the first wave was supposed to be
Jack soldiers with whisper rounds.
No, I thought it was supposed to be oh god, again, like another thing. But no, I thought there was supposed to be a first wave of proto warframes, but without Tenno. You know, so it's
but this does say not circuits, not light, but in flesh and disease. So yeah, there was many waves. There was wave 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, 2A, 2B, 2A, 2B, 2A, 2C.
2B. Can we stick with 2B? I knew he was going to get that.
Yokai 1235. Enemies that Zymos work against anything that produces a red shot. Nope, work on everything I checked on the simulacrum. Apparently, Zymos can work against anything they've tested.
Cool.
I think I need some. Which example? Sorry, just scratching my eye. Oh god. Okay. Majoga. I was able to do this quest on my. Oh, so this is the Demos quest.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to do this quest on my Mastery Rank 0 alt character I made. It doesn't explain why or how or what, but I did get to control a Necromech regardless of not having access to an operator.
Yep.
Thank you very much for that, Majoga. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's like, oh, I'll just your warframe is broken. Oh, so if the warframe is broken, get in the Necromech.
How?
There's a zip on the back. I mean, do I
it's honestly, it's.
I mean, I can, but
I really feel that either that part of the quest should
hang on.
What? Oh, if you just
took it off, put it back on. There we go. Sorry.
Anyway,
I disconnected from my warframe. It just collapses.
I feel that with I don't know. It just feels like it got overcomplicated, and they should have had the quest where it's like, we need to continue to do this thing, but you know we're kind of boned until you go do the war within. Yeah. So come back later.
Yeah.
So we can easily explain this shit.
Oh yeah. The void is crippled and all your powers aren't working. Go solve the solar system's ills. I mean, they could have. I think it would have been better if they did do. But then people complain it's like weird to get so far on a. But then it would be really cool if you got somewhere and it's like, oh, you can only get this far. And
oh my god,
later.
It explains this thing. Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't have had it where the heart was damaged and then you had to come back later. I would have had it before that. So you found Father, but you hadn't gone in to find the heart yet. You know, so like that.
Yeah, and they could say that something's going on with the heart, but it'll take longer for me to figure out. And then it's like, you best get on with other things. Tenno, come back, and it's like it gives time passing in the universe. Yeah. It would have been cool. But like I do appreciate the fact when they added the Plains of Eidolon, what they were hoping to do is that people would go there to maybe get Gara and do the first quest. And so they see the Eidolon and they can't attack it. They can't do damage. It's like, whoa, how do I deal with this? My guns that should do 0 damage. Wow, it's going to be really cool when I come back and fight that big thing. But it just kind of gets lost because the quest makes you go out, but you don't really do anything to it.
Can you have more than one active quest at the same time?
Good question.
Because if they don't, it should pause the quest. They should build it in to pause the quest, so you can have.
Maybe you can. I don't know. It's not so normally. I mean, it's something that I haven't really tried because anytime a quest turns out, quest starts. I do quest. I complete quest. So anyone knows, please let us know in the comments below. Right, and the last point is just some points from Zrugal of how much better we've improved, just to rub Xeno's ego a bit. So apparently 1 and 2, which he stole from Xeno, are microphone quality and better webcams. No webcam no more. I'm webcam free, so I can be as fat as I want.
Also, so he doesn't have to wear a hat. You know, me, I invest in a Game Grumps hat. Him, fucking never wearing a hat again.
I bought multiple Anthem hats. I have a supply of Anthem hats for the rest of my life now.
Can't see them.
They're there.
Can you actually do cosmetics for like
this
VR chat? Yeah, can you actually wear?
Yeah, there are ones which I can interact with if they're in the environment, and the model could be added with things on. Like I don't know how it is, but I saw on when I loaded into one of these once, there was another Excalibur, basic Excalibur. He had weapons on his back.
Cool.
Oh, and I have seen actually. I saw with a cover ops version of this. This is Nick Out 13, by the way. Shout out to Nick Out 13, awesome dude who did this avatar.
Yeah.
But I've seen that with
cover ops
one, he had the Scanner Prime. So I don't know. Anyway, moving on. 3, the episode structure you've got now is better, or at least you like it better. I've been voting no since it changed.
You bastard!
He said, kidding.
Oh.
4, the knowledge of your game your knowledge of the game has grown. In fact, well, maybe grown, but I feel it hasn't kept in pace with the actual experience the knowledge you need for the game. I think there's so much to learn now still.
No, Loz, look at Discord. Oh no, sorry, look at the OBS. Look at OBS, sorry. Right? It's grown. Sideways.
What's grown?
Our knowledge of the game has grown sideways. Not.
Oh, sorry. I'm just
grown.
looking at you. Sorry.
Yes, it's grown.
Oh. I get you. Okay.
Yeah.
You're better known around the community. No, we're not. Than you used to be. You have more experience in YouTube department than before. That's true. Xeno is really on the ball with all his YouTube stuff. That's true. And in fact, we used to use cards. With a few people did these things. That's a good point. You've more Loz, you have your face back. Oh, it's gone again. I'll get it back. It's fine. I've still got the other method, but this one's just better. You guys didn't have a Discord channel when you started, but now you do, and it really helps with you interact with your community. There you go. And you're now in the partner program now. Well, we were in the other program before anyway, so yeah. But anyway, there we go. That's it for the points to boost Xeno's ego.
Not episodes 1. There wasn't a partner program back then.
That's true. Right, well, that's it for that. Let's move on to the next thing, which, according to this thing up here, says it's time for memes.
Shall I take the time down? Because
could you do the time on this? Yeah, I think it's at the end here. It's not too, you don't have to read topics and things. So you can do the times, but I can do them during topics because then you're reading and I have time to do them. So
yeah,
get it right.
So
got all these memes. Oh, what's that?
Cool.
Right. Meme number 1.
The hell?
There we go. Foundry items can be claimed operator. Are you pleased?
What
bicycle. Bicycle Prime. That's what I'm saying here. So we've got bicycle. Bicycle Prime. Yeah, you know it.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I'm guessing it's French. You might think this is a negative. Actually, I mean, because of the creative flair and unique design, and that I feel that just inspires French to me. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. All right. I think it is. It's weird, but maybe Italian. I don't know. Moving on to number 2. The pain is up. Yeah, this is down because I have to look up there to see it's make sure it's up and there to see my actual right. Okay, the pain. Can't believe he didn't cry at the Titanic. Do men even have feelings? Boys.
Oh my god.
Just dead, dire face. I can't remember his name. It's his what's it say? Primed Umbral memes. Okay. It's the yeah. And it's what's his name? The son in Sacrifice.
Yeah. Remember his name.
The guy's just all dead thing. Right, meme number 3. Boop. Boop. Can I have meme number 3, please? There we are. Okay. No, it's not. It's my mind. I'm talking to myself. Okay. It's been over 200 logins. And I miss you. Good old classic meme. 75% off.
Oh my god, he can stroke the screens now. Oh my
I can
god.
stroke the screen. Yeah, I can hold. I can't. I have lean in to hold the screen.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
When was the last time you saw 75% off?
A long time.
Yeah, same. Now moving on to meme number 4. Oh yes, yes. Do you remember I said earlier to wait for a meme? Yeah, it's up there now. Okay, here we go. The Warframe subreddit talking about Helmet in a nutshell. And then, so we've got 4 players here playing Heart of Demos. There we are with the helmet. And there's one player here talking. Typical DE, nerfing everything. The system is already dead and useless. Quit having fun!
Oh my god.
This is the Xeno character here.
Shut up.
I'm kidding. Number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had to put this one in. This is my own personal pain. I keep seeing these Warframe ads. I see a advert, and like some of the Warframe ads, they go to like paid people, like YouTubers, doing a little bit of an explanation to Warframe.
Right.
And I've listened to them so many times. I get them so many times. Maybe Warframe's desperate to get new players.
This is why I've just
You've never seen them,
sacked off YouTube ads, because I always just get Grammarly ads instead of stupid Grammarly.
Yeah. So I'm just tired of clickbait ads Warframe has on YouTube. The game looks like that, but it's not entirely the truth. Just recently, a noob asked me how I could summon the Railjack in the open world.
Oh,
very true point. Showed in some of the footage. Warframe YouTube ads. Whoa, Warframe Railjack footage. Whoa, me who plays Warframe. Like, yeah, it looks like that, but
it ain't really like that.
They really cut themselves deep with the whole you could go from Venus to Railjack.
Well,
they need, and that like affect things in orbit that would affect things on ground. They need to do something about that, because that was cool, and they need to achieve that.
Yeah,
like, because that makes planets. In fact, that makes open worlds not just about the ground. It makes it about the air above them as well. And then last meme of the week, because I know Xeno is liking this game a lot. Based on having this happen day 6, and again on the other side of 750 hours later. So we've got at the back the three Mastery 29 squad members we have running for the button, the Stalker, and the button being the Mastery 3 Excalibur, who killed the Jackal once. He's gonna come kill you. And if anyone doesn't know the game, because it has exploded, it is Among Us, and it is a hilariously fun game.
Yep. Even though Loz betrays the buddy system.
Buddy system. Hey, you did it first, man.
I didn't.
There was that game where the whole time I was like, gonna defend Xeno to the hilt. He's been with me. We're doing missions. We're working. This is the buddy system in action. And then it comes down to just a handful of people left. And I'm like, oh, someone's walked in the room, but don't worry, Xeno's with me. And Xeno just goes, I'm like, you dirty traitor.
And just to point out, it was the other imposter. So I just turned to Loz and just broke his neck.
Don't worry, I got my own revenge when I think me and Xeno were by ourselves, and then like I think Merastius was the other imposter. And I'm like, right, I need to get this to Xeno because he's talking about the buddy system all the time, and I can't kill people with him around. And then so it was just I pushed a oxygen alarm, and then the only people left were me, Xeno, and Merastius, and I was like, God. Snap. Right,
that entire play session, I died every single thing first.
Yeah. Oh God, I need that. Put that back. Right. Way to lock this. I think there is. Hang on. No. Okay. Whatever. I've got a camera. Anyway, so let's go to the community shoutouts.
Should I do the time?
Yes, please.
Because
I have to change tabs on that one. We could. It's teething errors. I can get this fixed next time. But yeah.
Cool. Right. So community shoutouts.
Oh my word.
Our first community shoutout. That's the mains. Right. There we go. Our first community shoutout is Peak a Frame by Un. We got so many in there. So I think
this is glorious.
Yeah.
Can I like from here?
Yeah.
Like.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Are you logged into Twitter on that?
I've got my desktop there.
Oh right.
Discord's there.
Right.
Window there.
Right.
Your stream's up there. Notepad++ is
fine.
there. There's a keyboard down here.
Yeah, it's fine. Right. So yeah, first one, Peak a Frame, very cool. Very love. Second community shout out is A Happy Family by Nist.
What the?
Nist, I think. Nissist? I don't know. So, yeah, it's when you go to like a convention or whatever and you do a cosplay and, you know, the parents also dress up as well.
That is lovely.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. Right. Our third community shout out is Tilrogor by Cass.
Tiragor at his base, waiting to give me the 10th Equinox chassis in a row.
Yep.
I don't think Tiragor's that sassy and posing and staring at canisters, but okay.
But I'd rather have him than anyone else.
No.
Fourth community shout out is Wisp and Darvo by Finn.
In case anyone had forgotten, I still adore Darvo. Hasn't done anything in game in a while, has he?
No.
No, shame. All these great characters doing things.
And then not.
Shame. If only we had like a method of putting like small mini stories in mini missions, where you're giving people on a regular basis some sort of emblem that would add up to do them. I mean, there's a word for these. I just can't think of it.
Yeah, fuck knows. Right, so the fifth community shout out, which we got a spoil of earlier, is Nezha Deluxe Shoes by Sylphix. So
okay, guys, hear me out on this one. Warframe type shoes, Warframe shoes, original design by Nezha Deluxe, by the amazing Yeah, those shoes are awesome.
Yeah,
they just are.
Yeah, I don't think I would wear them, but I'd see them in the street and I'd be like, damn. Yep,
you got the Nezha Deluxe.
Yep, and then sixth, but by no means least, community shout out is Doodle number 3, Loki by Sylphix. It's just a doodle.
Doodle number 3 Loki, because I'm sorry, excuse for Loki main. Sometimes something simple is enough. This is one of them. Quite the fun to sketch. That's a lovely sketch. Just a doodle, of course.
Just a doodle. Just a doodle.
Just a doodle. Just doodle that. Doodle.
All right.
Amazing.
Cool. So that's it for the community shout-outs. And before we go to the quote for the week, anyone that's listened all this way through, I'm just going to do a quick announcement now, because I should have done it during the Dojo Dusting. On the first Friday of November, which is November 6th, Joey and I will be releasing a new podcast on the 10 o'clock channel. We have no idea what the name will be, but it will... Stop it! We have no idea what the name will be, but it will be something primarily anime related, very similar to the anime themed Framecast that we did before. If you're interested in it, check that out when it comes out on November 6th. So,
cool. So this is going on the 10 o'clock channel?
It'll be on the 10 o'clock channel.
There better be a Warframe Tenno related funny name. I don't know what.
Anaframe?
Oh.
Anaframe cast? I don't know. I'll work something.
Anaframe, I like it.
Yeah. Name suggestions would be really appreciated.
In description below.
Comments. So I know we always do that. In the description below. No, it's comments. Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you ready for me quit?
Yeah.
I don't know what that hand gesture
is. Me mentally preparing.
Okay. Cool. The admiral who became a captain. The captain who became corrupted. The corrupted who defied the Tenno. Striking story. But now the Grineer want to know how the story ends. Only a famous death will do. And what could be more glorious than the challenge of the Tenno in the Great Void?
Interesting. Love the quote. Old or new?
I'm pretty... Damn it, microphone! I'm pretty sure it's old. Give me 2 seconds.
Don't eat your microphone.
No, it like the arm sometimes just goes up. How do we define 2000? 2000 is new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's new. It's on the edge.
2000. It's on the edge.
On the edge.
It's not something new. What's the genre?
God, you made me look. stuff up. Action, adventure, drama.
I get the feeling this is a person talking. It's like a person in control of a system talking to someone who has been working their way through it, and like that's the story, the narrative, and they. It's like almost like a game show or something, and that now this person's looking down on that person. It's like, yeah, you've had the story of this person, you did this, this, and this, but now all we care about you dying.
Oh wow,
basically.
you are so close.
Oh God. Like, yeah, it's like as if it was all just part of the story or something. And it's like, right, yeah, I'm entertaining these fans. That's my job. You're just the thing for them to look at. And you've gone through all these steps. But no one wants that anymore. What we want to see is you fall, you finish your story. And so we can move on to the next story. And though that this person been fighting to get to this point. Oh, God, I can feel it. It's not like the Truman Show or something, is it?
No. I've never actually watched the Truman Show.
You never seen the Truman Show? It's all right. But that's that kind of dynamic, I feel. 2000.
The setting is older than modern day. So it's in the past.
God, I don't know. I'm the age of the film tricks me for trying to think of things from that genre, that style at that time. What is it?
Do you want any more hints?
Can you think of any hints?
Yeah, I'm just going to say it's directed by Ridley Scott.
Yeah, I'm not a great one for remembering by creators. Ridley Scott. Nah, what is it?
Gladiator.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the story of the generator who became a slave and worked his way up to champion. Now all they want to see is you die. I was so close.
Yeah,
but
you were so close.
I couldn't put myself. I could think of if it was a sci-fi-esque film, my brain was like go for that, or even just like a modern day thing with like some sort of underground fighting pit. But I couldn't put myself in a period piece for it.
Yeah.
Like when would that sort of thing happen in the past? And the gladiator pit, of course.
Yeah. The problem is, if I said Roman, like I think you would have instantly gotten it.
Yeah, it would push my brain in that direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have told me Russell Crowe. Well, even again, that
would be like, yeah.
I didn't know that was done by Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't you?
I learn something every day. No. I've had my eyes closed. Now I'm back in VR. Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. That's a interesting feeling.
When does it end?
Yeah.